Hello again, everybody. David Clary, along with Lee Wexler, Rashawn Knowles. Ben George is with us as well. We are live at Farragut High School once again for game number 2 for the Wildcats here at the Region 2 baseball tournament. The Wildcats are taking on the Maryville Rebels for the second consecutive day, and this is an elimination ball game, the first the Wildcats have played in the entire tournament, basically, as they take on the Rebels, who just a moment ago knocked off Central 4-2. Lee, you've got the starting lineups.
Yeah, starting lineups for Oak Ridge. Leading off at shortstops, Caden Black. Batting second at first base is Cam Welch. Batting third at third base, Mikey Teasley. Batting fourth, the designated hitter, Peyton Witter. Batting fifth and catching, Parker Free. Batting sixth in right field is Richie Ferreira. Batting seventh and pitching, Alex Franklin. Batting eighth at second base, Kai Welch. Batting ninth in center field is Warren East. And playing left field for the Wildcats, not in the hitting lineup, is Carson Fagan. Looking over for the Maryville Rebels, leading off in center field, Brady Orr. Batting second at shortstop, Kane Baber. Batting third at third base is Cade Batchelor. Batting fourth, the designated hitter, Sam Young. Batting fifth and catching, Cohen Babalay. Batting sixth at first base, Ryder Storm. Batting seventh in right field, Hunter Olivet. Batting eighth at second base, Ryan Wade. And batting ninth in left field is Garrett Knopf. I don't know.
It is not. He was the starting pitcher yesterday in the game that Oak Ridge won 7-1 here in the first round of this tournament. Yeah, this is an interesting scenario. I heard one of the Oak Ridge people say to me a moment ago, and this is 100% correct. This is the next step game for the Oak Ridge baseball program. The Wildcats have gotten this far before, and since 1993, they haven't played in a sub-state ball game. This is the next step. If they win this ball game, they will get a chance to play in the sectional tournament, which is one step away from the state tournament, somewhere they have not been since the 70s, the 1970s, to the state baseball tournament. So this is the next step ball game. The Wildcats have a good opportunity against a really good Maryville team that actually swept us during the regular season, but Oak Ridge won behind a great game by Cam Welch yesterday, but the Wildcats have to win or the season comes to a close.
Pitching for the Maryville Rebels is Max Coleman. And yeah, like you said, this was the game. Oak Ridge, they were up against Hardin Valley, and I think either had a lead or were tied going into the seventh inning. A play at the plate, a controversial missed call at the plate, would have given Oak Ridge, I believe it would have given Oak Ridge the lead, and instead it left the game tied, and Hardin Valley would go on to score 9 runs in the final inning, and then Hardin Valley would go all the way to the state championship. So yeah, you're absolutely right. This is the exact game Oak Ridge was in this time last year. This is that next step. Coach Free has come in the several years he's been there. He's built this program. He's added players. Players have transferred in from other schools. They've developed players. They're kind of a diverse group, meaning they're not all one class. They've got freshmen, sophomores, juniors, seniors, all that. So they're kind of all over the map. You saw the game yesterday. I didn't see the game yesterday. I was at work. This is a team Oak Ridge has beaten. And, to me, I think Oak Ridge is better than this Maryville team. I haven't seen them play. I watched them play a little bit in the game prior. They were going toe-to-toe with Central. This is a game I expect Oak Ridge to perform a little better than the first game, although the first game I think I've already forgotten about.
Well, I was going to say, why don't you kind of recap a little bit? It was a reasonably close ball game at 1.6-2, and then they let it get out of hand. I was talking with an Oak Ridge fan, former Wildcat, former East Tennessee Buccaneer, Donnie Sharp, who our owner at East Tennessee Spine and Sport. He was saying it's a game of ifs. What if we make the play at the plate? What if we make the play at third? What if Alex Franklin's ball that he hit is 5 feet to the right? Then it's a 6-4 ball game, and who knows what happens after that? The dynamics, the coaching changes, the different things that happens. But that's baseball. It's sports. It's ifs. It didn't happen, but if it had, could have been a different story. you got to flush that. That was your word, and I've heard coaches say that for years. You got to flush that game. The score, it was out of control. I mean, it was the biggest score I've ever seen Oak Ridge ever lose by, honestly, in my memory. But you got to flush that game and just got to concentrate on this one because honestly, this is the most important game now. If you don't win this game, your season's over.
Yeah, that's right. And David, I think Maryville has one up this here. I don't know if they have anybody calling the game, but they do have their own camera guy on the field. I don't know if they're doing anything live, but we've got our camera up here. The Farragut people, I think, have been really nice. I think they've been too nice, which is a little scary. But they've been offering free hot dogs. I think they offered like 5 first people to the concession stand get free hot dogs on like any ball that's hit off or over the wall, which was a lot in the first game.
3 home runs.
Yeah,
against
3
the
home
Wildcats.
runs. I don't know how many balls were hit to the wall. So, to put it nicely, Oak Ridge was beaten really badly in the first game. 21-2. Those games typically aren't fun. It was close there for the first couple of innings. It got exciting there at some points during the game. Oak Ridge was threatening, I think, maybe in the 4th inning. But, a fresh start, scores 0-0. And they're playing a Maryville team who they played yesterday. And if you're Maryville, I mean, you're looking for revenge. You've won your first game, and this is do or die. I mean, this is a Game 7 mentality. Winner moves on to sectional. Winner gets 2 more guaranteed games. Granted, they'll be on the road. Loser season is over. And so, it's never fun when your season's over. I was part of the broadcast last year when Oak Ridge's season ends, and it's not fun. So should be a much better game. I don't expect a 21-2 score. And the weather's cooperated. There are some clouds. My mom was concerned I didn't put on sunscreen. And David, I'm going to let you talk now because you're tired of me talking.
Alex Franklin will get to the start. You got a chance to see Alex. I know you haven't seen many Oak Ridge baseball games this year. You got to see him play up in Kingsport, where he pitched a really fine game against Tecumseh or something like that, North Carolina.
I believe it was Tuscola, I think is what it was called, Tuscola, North Carolina. Yeah, I remember that game. He threw well.
Brady Orr leads things off for the Maryville Rebels against Alex. He's a right-handed throwing senior. I'll set the defense for you in a moment. I have a couple concerns about this game as it starts, as that pitch is fouled off the body of the catcher Parker Free, and we are underway. Camden Welch is the first baseman for the Wildcats. Kyron Welch is at second. Caden Black is the shortstop. Mikey Teasley is at third base. The left fielder for the Wildcats is Carson Fagan. As that pitch is hit to left field to Carson, he should make the play. He's over and does. And that is out number 1. Hard hit ball, but out. Center fielder is Warren East. The right fielder is Richie Ferreira. And the catcher for the Wildcats is, as I mentioned, Parker Free. Baber is the batter now for the Rebels. 2 teams. It's the 4th time they have played. If we had played Central, it would have been the 5th time we had played the Central Bobcats, but it was Maryville who won that game just a moment ago, 4-2. A couple things concern me, actually. I noticed some of our players watching that ball game. There's nothing wrong with that, as that ball is hit foul off to the right side and out of play. Is that a lot of them were sitting in the sun. Sun has been beating down on them, and the sun's a drainer. It'll take your energy out, and hopefully the Wildcats can pop up and get ready. Maryville's just continued, just played a ball game, so they're still in kind of baseball mode as Alex's pitch floats outside, and the count is 1-1 strike. That concerns me just a bit.
Yeah, and I'm not even playing, and one of the things we all wanted to do is go find some shade and get something to eat, get something to drink. The ball's fouled straight back. Yeah, it's not ideal to really go hang out in the sun. It's not really blazing hot, but it's definitely not cold. It was a little chilly this morning, but yeah, Oak Ridge having to take a game off after losing. And again, I go back, I still think they should, and it's a TSSAA issue. We'll watch this pitch.
Ball's hit foul once again.
To me, Oak Ridge and Farragut both won. They should have been the game that just played. To me, the losers should play the first game, but I can keep complaining about it all day. I seriously doubt TSSAA will change anything.
They're listening.
They solve one issue and then create another. Well, it's an issue for me.
1-2 pitch. That's up high. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Maybe it's not an issue for anybody else. That's just me. But I'm a baseball guy. I played high school baseball, so I guess I get a little input.
Franklin, once again, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pitch, hit foul. Back to the screen and out of play. Yeah, the sun, it isn't that it's hot. It is the fact that it's just beating down on us. And I think that's the thing. And the sun's an energy drainer. And they were out, some of them were under the trees, but some of them were up there on the hill, just taking in the Central Maryville ball game. Alex Franklin's got one out. There's nobody aboard. We're in the top of the first. His pitch stays outside. He doesn't throw with a great deal of velocity. He manages to get strikes and strikeouts and ground balls because he's usually around the strike zone. He's got a good breaking pitch. Pitch, hit foul again, off to the left side and out of play. I was talking to the guy a moment ago whose car was hit, and he told me, surprisingly enough, it wasn't as bad as he thought when he heard the sound, but still is going to require some work. That pitch is hit to right field deep, foul, over to make the play. Oh, great play. Richie Ferreira makes the play in right field. I'm sorry, but Sean was so caught up in watching it. Richie goes all the way to the fence and makes a catch right around 300 feet away, right at the fence. Nice hustle there by Richie Ferreira.
Yeah, great play. I think everyone, like Vashon, had given up on the ball, and Richie just kept going after it. It's a great play by Richie. Just kept going. The ball really kind of hung up. I thought it was going way foul. I didn't think Richie had a chance at all. Great play by Richie.
2 outs now, and the first pitch from Alex is a ball. Who's batting now?
This is the third baseman, Cade Batchelor.
Yeah, this is basically the same lineup we saw yesterday in the ball game. 1 ball to count. The pitch hit foul back our way and out of play. I'm looking for Connor and Peyton. Have they left us today? Connor had to leave, Peyton, because they're doing the keeping up with the pitches. I guess that's their duties. Alex has a 1-1 pitch coming. It's cut on and missed. And the count is 1-2.
One thing with Alex, he doesn't have a lot of velocity. He's able to kind of mix up his speeds and put a little spin on the ball. I think it just throws some of these hitters off balance because he threw well against Tuscola that one day I was there in Johnson City a few weeks ago.
1-2 pitch. Oh, called strike 3. And he's going to go take a seat as the Wildcats go, the Rebels go 1-2-3 in the top of the first inning. A couple of hard hit balls, but the Wildcat defense was up to the task. We go to the bottom half of the first inning. We were at Farragut. The Wildcats are the home team. They were the home team against the home team Admirals earlier in game number 1. This is an elimination ball game, and we're glad you've tuned in. Now, Lee, why don't you explain the format for the people who are joining us for the first time?
Yeah, so what you have is you've got 16 total districts in the state of Tennessee. Oak Ridge, I believe, is District 4, District 3. I don't even know. Okay. So what you have is you have Oak Ridge and Central coming out of their district, and then you have Maryville and Farragut coming out of their respective district. And Oak Ridge won their district tournament. They will play the runner-up, which is Maryville. Farragut won their district. They play the runner-up, which is Central. Those two teams played yesterday. The winners were Farragut and Oak Ridge. Farragut and Oak Ridge played earlier today, for what is called the Region Championship, and it's the first game of the day. The losers of yesterday are still alive. They still get to play again. Maryville and Central played a minute ago with Maryville winning, and so it is a form of double elimination. Farragut won yesterday and they won today, so they don't have to play again. There's no losers bracket winner coming back to play Farragut. Farragut automatically moves on, whereas the winner of this game between Maryville and Oak Ridge will move on to play what has already been determined Sevier County, and that will be on the road later this upcoming week. And so I hope I explained that the best I could. It is a form of double elimination. In years past, that first region ball game was just a one-game elimination game, which means what happened yesterday, Oak Ridge beating Maryville, in years past, Maryville would have been eliminated. Well, instead, Maryville gets to play again, which they played Central earlier today, and beat them. So now these two teams are meeting again. And so it's a little bit different style. It's this way across the state in all the classifications. And so it's much better than that single elimination crap that has been going on for years. And hopefully I did the best I could explaining that.
Thank you very much, Lee. Before I go any further, I want to point out that the senior parents on this Oak Ridge baseball team are paying our rights fee for this stream today in game number 2. We appreciate them. Caden Black leads things off for the Wildcats. Caden had a couple hits in the first ball game against Farragut. He leads things off. As the infield is in at third, the pitch to Caden is a little high, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. What is the pitcher's name here once again for the Rebels?
The pitcher's name is Max Coleman.
So Coleman on the mound. He's a right-hander. The pitch is up high again. 2 balls and no strikes. Maryville just coming off of a ball game, an elimination ball game, where they were able to win the ball game by a score of 4-2. I don't know much about the Maryville pitching staff, as that pitch is on the inside corner for a called strike. You kind of figure this is the stage of the tournament where you're getting a little thinner on pitchers. Wildcats started Mikey Teasley and pitched about 4 other guys as well. 2-1 pitch to Black, and that's down low, and the count is 3 balls and 1 strike.
I think a few positives out of the first game. I think Caden Black had some really good at-bats, had a couple hits to the left field and center field. Just kind of uses the whole field when he hits. He's a really good hitter.
3-1 pitch. That's up high, ball 4. Good start for the Wildcats. You have speed on the base paths, and typically a lot of people say, and as slow as Coleman comes to the plate, I mean, it was an advantage, I think, to Caden. But typically a lot of people say if Caden gets on first base, he'll be on second pretty soon. Cam Welch is the batter now. Cam had a really solid hit at one point in the game. Was on base twice, I know, and scored, I believe, one of the Wildcat runs in the Farragut ball game. And he bats with Caden at first. Left-handed hitting, sophomore. Coleman on the mound for the Rebels. Elimination ball game from Farragut. And the pitch. That's a called strike. 0-1 the count.
Yeah, what do you think we see? Caden Black maybe trying to steal second here. That was a little bit slow delivery to the plate.
Well, that's kind of what I thought. Just watching him warm up, it is a slow delivery. And Caden, who has great speed, typically he goes early. We'll see what he does. He's the all-time leading base stealer in Oak Ridge High School history. And I know Coach Free loves to have those guys in scoring position, especially for this stage of the batting order. And here's a throw over, and Caden back to the bag. Sean doing camera work, and he has apologized to me about 10 times for not getting Richie's play. He got so caught up watching it. So do we. But Sean, you don't have to apologize. I thought it was going foul too. The pitch is outside the ball, and the count is 1-1.
Well, if it makes Vishon feel better, in Kingsport, maybe a month ago when I was there, I was doing the camera work, and Warren East hit just a bomb over the left field fence, and I just missed it. I was following the ball, but I stopped it for whatever reason. I guess I just got too busy watching. So
looks like Kane's going this time. He's not. He's going to draw a throw, and it's close. Close play over at first base, but he is back. Will Maddox, assistant coach of the Wildcats, taking a closer look at him. Travis Free, the head coach of the Wildcats, down in the third base area coaching box. Ben Peters, Jeremiah Ball, Kevin McKeithen, the assistant coaches, and Jason Slay helps them as well. 1 ball, 1 strike the count. Caden once again draws a throw.
In the major leagues, that would be a balk. Can't pick off 3 times.
Yeah, you can't go over twice. And you're right. As Camden Welch is back in, he's got a 1 ball, 1 strike count on him. I'm thinking Caden's going to go, although they're holding him on fairly close. Got to worry about the batter as well. Coleman comes to the plate, not going. Pitch is hit to left center field. The left fielder over, and he makes the one-handed grab for out number 1. Ball's hit pretty well, but out. Batter now will be Mikey Teasley. Mikey steps in. Mikey, I don't think he got on base in the first ball game. Struggled a little bit at the plate. But he's a solid guy, and let's see what he can do.
Now, a couple strikeouts and a ground out, I want to say. He was 0 for 3. Farragut was able to keep him off base. So he's looking to have a bounce-back game. Didn't pitch the way he probably wanted to. Farragut got a lot of hits.
Same situation the Wildcats were in a year ago. They played Hardin Valley in this ball game a year ago after losing the championship ball game. Playing Maryville today as Caden goes back this time on his feet. As I said at the top of the broadcast, this is the next step ball game for the Wildcats, who have not been to a sectional game since 1993. They lost to Dobbins Bennett. That was the 1-game series back in the day. We were region champs and still had to travel. It was just their turn. As the Caden's going, the pitch is down low. Here comes the throw, and he is in safely. The ball bounces away, and Caden's heading to third. Caden Black is at third. So it gets a stolen base, and then I think there might have been a collision between Caden and the fielder, and the ball just kind of bounced into shallow right field, and Caden, doing what Caden does, he scampers over to third, and the Wildcats have a scoring opportunity here in the first inning.
A good pitch to run on. I think it was off speed, and hopefully Caden's okay. I think when he slid into the bag, I think the ball may have hit him. And the way he slid, his body was kind of facing towards the ball. Hopefully Caden's okay. Man on third, 1 out.
Mikey steps in. 1 ball, no strikes to him. The pitch. Down low, ball 2. Good stop by the catcher for the Rebels. You talk about some excellent catching play for the Farragut Emeralds in their game. Nothing was getting past that guy.
Absolutely not. And the backstop here, it's not a big backstop. So the runners at third are really going to have to be careful.
Ball is hit foul on Kingston Pike. Let's see how far it goes. It didn't hit his car once again, but Mikey has got a 2-ball, 1-strike count.
Yeah,
you talk about
the
game of inches.
Yeah, I see the ball rolling out on the highway over there.
It's better than home runs that we saw in the first ball game. 2 balls, 1 strike to Mikey Teasley. The pitch to him, count on a miss. That evens the count at 2-2. It's a big pitch coming up. Mikey needs to make contact here and get the first run in for the Wildcats. That might relax Oak Ridge a bit after that game earlier. Coleman has the sign. 2-2 pitch. That's low. Ball 3. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Peyton Witter is on deck for the Wildcats. Mikey working back in the box quickly. Coleman working quickly on the mound for the Rebels. Wildcats staccato clapping once again. 3-2 pitch. That's ball 4. So the Wildcats have runners on the corners now with 1 out. And the batter indeed will be Peyton Witter. Peyton barreled up a couple balls, but it was out on some fly balls. He actually walked once in the ball game as well. He's the designated hitter. He is hitting today for the left fielder, Carson Fagan, who has been solid in the outfield here in the postseason.
Good discipline from Mikey Teasley there, David. Swung at that 2-1 pitch that was out of the zone and came back. The pitcher, Max Coleman, comes with a walk. I think it's extremely quiet.
Yeah, you can't worry about what the fans around you think. Just talk normally right into the mic. No count as of yet. 1 out. Pitch to the plate is a called strike at the knees on the right corner, and the count is 0-1. Parker Free is on deck. Parker had a base hit against Farragut earlier in the day. We had an 11 o'clock ball game. That seemed like forever ago. 1 strike the count. Mikey's taking his lead off of first. The Wildcats love that first and third play. Pitch is down low, and that'll be a stolen base for Mikey Teasley. With no effort, the ball kind of bounced up, and obviously he wasn't going to throw through anyway. And Wildcats have 2 runners in scoring position and a 1-ball, 1-strike count on the designated hitter of the Wildcats, Peyton Witter. Pitch to Peyton, hit foul, and almost fielded by Parker Free. Went up for it with 1 hand and dropped to the gravel.
I don't know what it is with the eastern part of the state, David. I mean, here we go again. Every time I come this way, my allergies start acting up.
1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch hit in the air, foul territory off to the right side. Most of the Farragut fans have hit it on out. If here, you can see it's kind of an interesting scenario. They sit in these folding chairs along the top. We talked about that in the first ball game. See if Peyton can make some contact here. The pitch to him, he hits it foul. He does stay alive, and the count is 1-2. Elimination ball game. The Rebels played one a moment ago, a few minutes ago, 45 minutes ago. They beat Central 4-2. Pitch to Peyton, hit on the ground. That's going to get the run in, and they might not even have a play. And the Wildcats' Peyton Witter has knocked in the first run of the game, and Oak Ridge leads the Maryville Rebels by a score of 1-0. The winner of this game plays in a sectional ball game this week against, I believe, the Sevier County Smoky Bears. As Wildcats now have runners on the corners as Mikey is able to advance to third. The ball was not hit hard, obviously. It just kind of bounced. The pitcher fielded it, and then he couldn't come up with it cleanly. Caden was going to score anyway, but the good news is Peyton's on base safely at first base.
Yeah, with runners in second, third, you just want to put the ball in play, and that's exactly what he did. Doesn't have to be hard contact. You just put it in a good spot. 1-0 Wildcats.
Pitch to Parker is outside, and the count is 1-0. One ball, no strikes, one out. Mikey Teasley, the base runner, he is at third. Witter is the base runner at first. Coleman checks the runner, goes over to first, and back to the bag will go Peyton Witter. Peyton got the save in the district championship game. He came in from Mikey and closed down the Bobcats in that ball game. Parker back in. One ball, no strikes. Short lead at first. Coleman has the sign, the pitch. Hit in the air, foul, off to the right and out of play. And the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Still I'm wondering where Jeff Huckabee is. I've been trying to get him to come do color forever, but not here today. He watched the first game down in Atlanta. Senior parents are paying for our stream today, and we appreciate them very much so. Wildcats have a 1-0 lead. Peyton back in, 1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch, hit, foul. Peyton was going on that one. He barely got a piece of it. Kind of lunged at it, in fact, and the count is 1-2.
Yeah, appreciate the senior parents providing money for the stream, and TSSAA they don't want to do anything if they can't make a profit or get money, and I get that, but that's just the way TSSAA is. That's just the way they are.
The people who are watching right now are not coming to the ball game anyway. That's what I say every single time. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Peyton draws another throw at first. Mikey Teasley creased up the line, not too far off the bag. Wildcats have played it a run. The Wildcats have 1 hit in the ball game. Coleman, 1-2 pitch to Parker Free. Hit on the ground in the hole. That's going to get another run in. And here comes the throw, and Parker is safe. It's an infield single and an RBI for Parker Free. And the Wildcats take a 2-0 lead over the Maryville Rebels. Nothing has been hit hard at all in this inning, but it's not how hard you hit him, it's where you hit him as Izzy Mitchell comes in to run for Parker.
No, they're just putting the ball in play, and that's really all it takes. You get runners on, you get runners in scoring position, you just put the ball in play. And 1 out, that's exactly what Witter and Free have done. That's back-to-back infield singles. So 2 walks. The 2 walks that have been issued by Maryville have come around to score. So 1 out, runners first and second. Richie Ferreira due up. He had a great first game.
Yes, he did. And he's had a great play already in this game to help his pitcher Alex Franklin out. He had 2 really solid hits against Farragut. Runners at first and second. Peyton is the base runner at second. He has average speed. Runner at first is Izzy Mitchell, and we know he can fly. Wildcats have put 2 on the board here in the first to lead it 2-0. Lefty back in, the pitch ripped to right field, and it's over his head. He can't make the play. The Wildcats, Peyton Witter coming around third. Here comes the throw. Izzy gets the stop sign. Here comes the throw. He is safe. Peyton Witter scores. It's 3-0. And once again, Richie Ferreira drills one over the right fielder's head, and the Wildcats have a 3-0 lead, and Richie Ferreira coming up big for the Oak Ridge Wildcats.
Good call by the home plate umpire, and a great slide by Peyton Witter. I think Peyton Witter may have misjudged the ball a little bit because that looked like a for sure double off the bat. But as a base runner, you kind of have to make sure. I think Witter probably could have gotten off the second base a little bit because that play, I think, was way too close, David. But good slide. He was safe, got under the tag. It's 3-0 Oak Ridge, 1 out, second and third.
2 runners in scoring position. Richie's at second. The pitch to Alex Franklin is a called strike. Izzy is the base runner at third. There's 1 out, 3 runs in the first. 3-0 Wildcats over the Rebels. The Wildcats won 7-1 over Maryville yesterday. Coleman has the sign. Steps off the rubber.
This guy either steps off, picks off every hitter, every base runner.
1 out, 2 on. Franklin just missed a grand slam in the Farragut ball game. He hits the ball on the ground. Third base side, he boots it. It goes under his glove. And one run will score. Izzy Mitchell is in the score. And Richie Ferreira winds up at third. And Alex Franklin's at first. And it is 4-0 Oak Ridge. Great start for the Wildcats. And like I said, with the exception of Richie's hit, nothing really has been hit hard. But like you said, all that matters is put the ball in play as Kim Britton comes in to run for Oak Ridge's Alex Franklin.
Yeah, good things happen when you put the ball in play. I'm going to chalk that as an E5, and they've got an error up on the board. It's 2 errors for Maryville. I'm not sure what the first error could have been, but we're going to get a mound visit here. Oh, okay. Well, I gave that an infield hit. I think we're going to get a pitching change, David. 4-0, great start.
Yes, it is, and Coleman is out of the game, and they are going to make a change. We're live here on our YouTube channel at the ballpark at Farragut. That is a classy name, and you'd expect that here in Farragut, as the field is named for John Heatherly, the former head coach and state champion coach for many, many years here. And then Coach Buckner took over for him, and he's just continued on the tradition of winning baseball here at Farragut. Ben, you have something to say? It's good to see you.
Great to be here, Dave. Great game so far here in this just first inning of play. Great baseball so far offensively, just getting that ball into play many times. And, as you mentioned, Coach Bree's just been known for historic wins, and this can be one of them to get us back to the sub-state.
For the first time since 1993, believe it or not. Back in the day, and you guys have talked about this, Lee has talked about it quite a bit, it was a single game. It was a single game. It was not a series. Baseball is a series sport. I mean, a one-game series, if you've got a stud pitcher, if you've got, Max Scherzer on your high school team and you're going to pitch him one time, that's all you need. But baseball is a series sport, and you've got to use all you've got. And most pitchers, with the exception of Farragut, don't have the depth to go through a long series that just, blow somebody away. And that's why I like it better. It gives all teams with an opportunity. Of course, I don't think anybody's going to beat Farragut. I don't know that there's a team in the state of Tennessee that can match up to their depth at pitching, their depth in hitters and fielders, and 16 seniors, and most of them going Division I. I was told earlier that one of their guys is going to be a first-round draft choice too, and so next week he's going to be a millionaire. So, as the Wildcats batting, leading 4-0. We're in the first inning. Who's the new pitcher in the game for the Maryville Rebels?
This is Cade Batchelor, and let me see where he was in the field. This is Cade Batchelor. He was at third base, so we do have a new third baseman. I can't tell who that is.
Wildcats continue to bat. They've got a runner at first and third, and oh boy, they picked him off. Yeah, that was a really, really smart play by Batchelor. And Cam is retired, and that is out number 2. They did the first and third. He faked the throw to third and then came right back, and Cam was leaning towards second base, and that is out number 2. Wildcats still have Richie Ferreira at third base. The Wildcats have put 4 on the board in the first inning. Batchelor swings, and he missed as Kai Welch, and the count is 0-1. Tough play there by the sophomore, getting picked off. Doesn't get a chance to play a lot. And 1 strike to count. The pitch, down low a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. The dimensions of this field, down the left field line is 305. To center, it's 365. Down the right field line is 310 at Farragut. Winners of, I think that's 12 state championships. The first one being in 1982, and they've won back-to-back in 2022 and 23. As Kyron takes a strike in the count now against the senior. Well, I think it's 1-2. Scoreboard says 2-1. Those guys have been working the press box for three games. I think it's 1-2, actually. To be honest with you, as Kyron will step back in, and he does change it. 2 outs, runner at third. The pitch. Hit on the ground again, third base side. Funny hop, and the Wildcats score again. Oak Ridge just kind of dinking them to death here in the first inning, and they lead Maryville 5-0. And that's another error on the third baseman and another base runner. And the Wildcats have batted around in the first inning, and here comes Warren East, the freshman, will step in. As you said, Lee, it doesn't, if you put the ball in play, a lot of times, especially at the high school level, good things are going to happen to you as that pitch to Warren stays up high. 5 runs in here in the first inning. Wildcats on top 5-0.
Yeah, another error to the third baseman. That's a new third baseman because Batchelor, the pitcher, was at third base. So that's 2 errors by 2 different third basemen in this inning. Pitcher's wanting a quick pitch here. Warney's not ready in the box.
Warren steps in, hit one off the wall yesterday in the win over Maryville. And it's ball 2. Batchelor a little wild all of a sudden. He's probably a little upset too because and at himself for committing an error which cost them. And now as a pitcher, his replacement commits an error which cost him another run. Only 3 hits in the inning, but 5 runs. The pitch is up high, ball 3. Top of the order, Mr. Black is on deck for the Wildcats. Caden scored the first run of this one, and he's on deck, but Warren needs to get on base. 3 balls and no strikes to the freshman. There's a strike. And the count is 3-1. We got here early. Rashawn and I left Oak Ridge about 9:15 today, so it's been a long day. Lee had to drive in from Murfreesboro, so we've been here a while. Ben's been sleeping in all day. 3 balls and 1 strike, 2 outs, runner at first. Pitch, cut on and missed. Warren swings through it. We appreciate Warren's grandparents sponsoring our ball game yesterday on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio. The senior parents today paying the TSSAA fee. The pitch to Warren, that's outside, ball 4. Good at bat for the freshman, and down the first he goes. And the Wildcats have 2 more runners on, and Caden Black is the batter. He led off this inning and scored the first run. He's a left-handed hitter.
This is Caden Black, so the Wildcats hit through, and I guess I got to mark up my entire book because it's still the first inning.
Pitch to Caden is a called strike. Breaking pitch floats in there, and the Wildcats have put 5 on the board. As I said, 3 errors. Maryville's helped Oak Ridge quite a lot in this first inning. 1 strike the count, the pitch. That's up high. Evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. The winner of this game goes to the sectional, and that'll be at the Wildcats would travel to Sevier County High School. They played Sevier County already twice this year, split during the regular season, winning at Oak Ridge and winning on the road. As that pitch is hit to center field, and it is going to be caught by the center fielder who plays shallow. I noticed that earlier. But a very productive inning for the Oak Ridge Wildcats. The Wildcats score 5 times in the first inning. They do it with 3 hits, 3 errors by the Rebels, and they leave a runner on base. We go to the top of the second inning here at Farragut High School. The Wildcats of Oak Ridge 5 and the Maryville Rebels nothing. And we'll be back to Farragut in a moment. Welcome back once again to Farragut High School. We go to the second inning after a very long bottom half of the first inning, but a very productive one for the Wildcats. They lead it now 5-0. Alex Franklin comes out. Senior trying to get his team to where they have not been since 1993, and that is in the sectional round. Back then it was a sub-state ball game. much like basketball. It was the one game scenario where the champions of Region 2 played the runner up of Region 1, and the Region 1 champion played the runner up of Region 2. But it's a little different now as they've added the multiple games. As Alex facing the number 3-4 hitter in their lineup, and his first pitch is a called strike.
The designated hitter, Sam Young.
Big burly left-hander. Rebels wearing their white jerseys with red. The Wildcats in their grays with cardinal. One strike the count. The pitch hit on the ground right up the middle for a base hit. Ball's hit right back where it came from, and that's a good start for the Rebels. With leadoff man hits the ball straight right back where it came from, and the Rebels have their leadoff man aboard.
This would be the catcher, Cohen Babele.
The catcher, number 26, Cohen Babele.
Babele, okay.
Yeah,
I was wrong.
I hate to correct people on the air, and that's why I didn't. But I just did the Maryville game yesterday, so I remembered his name. Good lead at first. Alex has got a good move. Let's see. He's going to come to the plate. The pitch. Oh man, looked pretty good. I guess might have been low. It's a big guy batting. The umpire's not big. He went down. I think it evidently. I guess it was low. Good lead at first. Alex is going to come to the plate. Pitches hit foul back to the screen, and the count is even at 1-1 strike. One on, nobody out. We're in the second inning here at Farragut. Wildcats on top 5-0 over the Rebels. Oak Ridge still, as I was thinking about who they have available to pitch today, they pitched quite a few guys as there's a throw, and back to the bag he goes. He's got a good move. That wasn't his best move right there, but he has been taking a pretty wide lead. He's a big guy. I don't know how fast he is. He's big, though. 1-1 strike. Alex Franklin, senior. His brother pitched in this game last year, and there's another throw, and much closer this time. He continues to take a big lead, and I'm telling you, Alex has good pickoff moves, and that's about his best right there. But once again, a big lead at first. 5-0 Wildcats. Franklin with a 1-1 strike count. Pitch. Hit well, but foul. We'll call it well foul. Kind of hung that one that time. It's just a loud strike, and the count is 1-2.
Yeah, that would have been a home run if it was fair. That ball, it went foul. I think the ball's already on the other side of Kingston. I don't even know if that ball hit Kingston Pike. I think it landed on the other side of Kingston Pike.
I'm telling you, the first home run in the Farragut game, there's no way it had to clear the road in the first ball game. 1-2 strikes. Alex Franklin comes to the plate. 1-2 pitch. That's up high. 2 strikes. Maryville Rebel bench starting to make a little noise as a cool wind comes whipping through here. It's moving from right to left. 2 strikes. Jacob Franklin, his brother, pitched in this game a year ago. And Alex trying to get a win for the Wildcats. 2-2 pitch. High and inside. Just out of the strike zone. He doesn't have his normal control of that pitch as of yet. Still very early. 3 strikes. Right-handed hitter. Nobody out. Franklin comes to the plate. Cut on and missed. Swinging strikeout. And that is out number 1 here in the second inning. And a good battle between Alex Franklin and that young man. There's one out. And who's up next, Lee?
Rider Storm.
There used to be a song, I think it was in the 60s. It was the Riders on the Storm or something like that.
Yeah, we don't know what that is.
Yeah, I know. It's a long time ago. And here's a throw over to first and back to the bag he goes. Wildcats put 5 on the board. They did it with 3 hits. They got help from Maryville. Wildcats trying to get a shutdown inning here in the second. Franklin has given up a single, and he's at first with a big lead. He's going. The pitch is high and inside. Here's the throw. It sails again, but it's a stolen base. Parker kind of, I don't know if he got any communication from his team or his bench that he was going, because he double clutched, and usually Parker's coming up throwing with it. I don't think anybody told him he was going, and they've got a runner in scoring position with 1 out. Pitch was a ball. The pitch in is hit. Foul territory back our way, and once again out of play. If you've ever been to Farragut, the baseball field is right below the visitors' side of the football field, kind of down right next to Kingston Pike. That's why we keep mentioning Kingston Pike. Home runs are going on to Kingston Pike as that pitch gets behind the batter, and the runner advances over to third. But it's very landlocked here at Farragut, so that's why the dimensions are short. It is a beautiful park, though. It is most definitely a beautiful park. 2 balls, 1 strike. Runner at third. 5-0 Wildcats. The pitch. Hit again, foul off to the right side. Some balls have been hit hard, but Alex has been able to work his way through it. And the count is even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's number 6 hitter in their lineup. Runner at third. Pitch. Bounced up at the plate, and the count is full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Alex knows this better than just about anybody, obviously. He doesn't want to put free base runners on. You've got a 5-run lead. Just throw strikes and let your defense do it. That pitch is hit, and their defense is going to do it. It's going to be a shallow pop. Second baseman Kai Welch has it, and that is out number 2. Good job of pitching by Alex Franklin, just a pop up in the infield, and Kyron is there for the out, and the runner obviously had to stay put at third.
Yeah, it's a big out by Alex Franklin. That ball never really left the infield, and there was really never going to be a play at the plate. Sam Young, the base runner, wasn't going to be able to tag, and so a huge out, 2 outs, man on third. And if you're Oak Ridge, you still don't want to be too comfortable. I know you're up 5-0, but in an elimination, Game 7 type ball game, you really can't get too comfortable.
Hunter Olivet is the batter now for the Rebels. He squares to bunt and hits it foul. He did that yesterday, and the same result. And the count is 0-1. 2 outs, runner at third. 5-0 Wildcats. We play here in the second inning.
I bet I've seen 5 players combined today square around a bunt and not get it down.
0-1 pitch. Parker had set up outside, and he caught it right where he was holding his mitt, obviously just a bit outside. And the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike.
The batter is Hunter Olivet.
He was their number 9 hitter yesterday. Hit on the infield again. This should do it. Kai's calling for it. He didn't see it right away. He does make the catch for out number 3. Great job once again for the senior Alex Franklin. Gets himself in a mild amount of trouble. It gets out of it with some really, really good pitching. We go to the bottom of the second inning here at Farragut. The Wildcats of Oak Ridge on top of the Rebels by a score of 5-0. Once again, we'd like to thank the senior parents on this Oak Ridge High School baseball team. I don't know if they all contributed, but I know most of them did, and I want to run down the seniors' names on this team. As I look, I'll start with the starting lineup. Caden Black is a senior. The Wildcats also have, Alex Franklin is a senior, and Kyron Welch is a senior. Other seniors include Brooks Earls. He is a senior. Izzy Mitchell is a senior. John Ulrich is a senior for the Wildcats. And let's see if I can, the Malcotes. We got Hayden Malcote, Lane Malcote, James Bowles, and I believe that is it. That is all the seniors on this team. And like I said, I don't know if all the senior parents contributed to it, but we appreciate them, or we wouldn't be broadcasting. TSSAA charges, and it's only going to go higher in the next rounds. If the Wildcats can win this ball game, they will move on to the sectional round as the pitch comes in low to Camden Welch. What did Camden do his first time?
Cam flew out to left field. It kind of hit that ball way out in left center. So it was a deep ball, but it was caught.
Bachelor still on the mound for the Rebels. 2 balls and no strikes. Leadoff man here in the second. The pitch hit on the ground, foul over to the Maryville dugout and fielded by somebody there. And the count is 2-1. Boy, I'll tell you, yesterday, Cam Welch pitched just a great game against the Maryville Rebels. A complete game, over 100 pitches. Hits the ball hard to the second baseman, fields it, throws in time for out number 1. Rebels had trouble fielding in the first inning, contributing to the Wildcats' 5-run burst as the sun peeks through the clouds for the first time in a while. And for the most part, we've been in the shade the entire ball game until just right now. And it illuminates the field even better as Mikey Teasley steps in for the Wildcats. Mikey scored the Wildcats' second run of the ball game. What did he do to get on?
Mikey walked. He walked and then stole a base. Scored, yeah, like you said, the second run.
He takes the first pitch high and outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Ben tells me that the Braves are winning 4-0. 2 balls and no strikes. Mikey, a sophomore, sporting those bright shoes. Pitch to him is hit foul off to the right, over towards the stands, and drops harmlessly to the ground. And the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Some of the energy in the Oak Ridge fans not quite the same as it was in the Farragut ball game, but we have been here a while. Some people stayed, some people left to eat, some people went home. I stayed and watched the Maryville Central ball game. 2-1 pitch. That's a ball, and that's ball 4. Obviously, they were off on the scoreboard, and I don't blame him. It's been 3 games that they've had to work the scoreboard. And anybody who's ever had to work a scoreboard for a basketball tournament or a baseball tournament knows that you can kind of lose track of things, as Peyton Witter will step in for the Wildcats.
Peyton singled back in the first inning and scored. Came around to score the third run for the Wildcats.
Mikey takes his lead off of first. The pitch to Peyton is way outside. Good stop again by the Rebel catcher, and the count is 1-0. 5-0 Wildcats. We're in the second in a game which seems to be creeping along, maybe because such a long bottom of the first. Mikey leaning towards second. Peyton takes one up high, and the count is 2-0. Remember several years ago, Jimmy Gaylor was the head coach of the Maryville Rebels. He, of course, the longtime football coach at Clinton. Ball is hit in the air, foul territory, drifting over to the right side. The first baseman, a long run, but he runs out of running room and drops harmlessly out of play, and the count is 2 balls and 1 strike. But Sean, how come you missed Richie's play?
It looked exactly like that, and I thought it was gonna be outside the fence, but it was not. So yeah.
You'll have to deal with Richie's grandmother, who's watching right now in California. 2 balls and 1 strike. Pitch is a called strike to Peyton Witter. The count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Let's see. Let me find Richie's parents. I saw them earlier. Oh, right here. Yeah. But they saw it live, so they're fine. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch. Peyton hits the ball on the ground, third base side. Tough play. Throws across in time for the out. Peyton is not blessed with the greatest of speed. He does move the runner over to second. He will send Parker Free to the plate with 2 outs and a runner at second base, and Parker steps in.
Yeah, Parker also had one of those little infield hits to the shortstop back in the first. Parker also scored a run. It was the 4th run. As the rain, I felt a few raindrops. I hoped it was somebody spitting on me, but it was. We had like 1 or 2 raindrops. I could still see some raindrops falling, but nothing too serious.
That pitch is up high, 1 ball, no strikes. Let me tell you, Monday we were at Central High School and we just got waxed by a deluge of rain. We had to move. We had about an hour and a half delay, mainly lightning. Had to move into the dugout with our cameras. Pitch is hit on the ground, shortstop. He feels it. He throws, and it's in time. So a much better inning for the Rebels here in the second. Wildcats pick up a base runner. They leave him stranded. We go to the 3rd inning here at Farragut High School, the Region 2 lower bracket championship game. The winner to play in the sectional tournament. The loser, like Central just a moment ago, ends their season here at Farragut High School. We'll be back to Farragut in a moment. Welcome back once again to Farragut, our second ball game of the day. The Wildcats were defeated soundly by the Farragut Admirals in the championship ball game. The Wildcats with a chance to move on if they can win this ball game. They're ahead 5-0, but as Lee said, you can't get too comfortable. Maryville's a very capable team. They wouldn't be at this level this far along in the tournament play if they weren't a good team. And Alex Franklin begins his third inning of work. We're in the third. And the first pitch is a ball. And who is this?
This is the 8-hole Ryan Wade.
Reason I asked Lee, normally I keep the book and I know who's batting, but he's keeping the book today and kind of keeps me from just able to talk as that pitch is hit on the ground. And that is just foul down the third base line. And the count is 1-1 Vashon's been with me all day. Vashon's been with me the last couple of years, but we're losing to East Tennessee. He's going to be playing East Tennessee State. He's going to be playing football for the Buccaneers after a couple of great seasons at Oak Ridge High School. And we're going to miss you on the crew. Vashon, will you miss us?
Yeah, I'll miss it. If I'm not busy and y'all come to like Bristol or something again, just let me know. I can try to help. Yeah, it was a fun experience, and yeah.
He always ends with that when he talks. 2-1 leadoff man here in the third inning. 5-0 Wildcats in the lead. Alex comes to the plate, hit in the air, softly, left field. Warren East over from his center field position makes the catch for out number 1. Just a soft fly ball when he first hit it. I didn't think it would carry as far as it did, but I look and it's only 320 to the power alley out there, so it's a short porch. The ball carried, I don't know, about 10 feet away from the warning track, and that is out number 1.
This is Garrett Nuff, the 9-hole hitter playing left field. And it goes to show the difference in the strength between Farragut and Maryville, because Maryville's had some long flyouts.
Ball is hit to Carson Fagan on the line. 1 pitch, 1 out. 2 up and 2 down. Garrett Nuff was the losing pitcher yesterday in the Wildcats' 7-1 victory over the Rebels. You know, this is pitching. You know, he's not going to overpower you. Alex is not. He's coming off shoulder surgery anyway, but he's letting his defense do the work. He's, throwing strikes. They're making contact, and he's pitching to contact, and the Wildcats are making the plays in the field.
Yeah, only 2 strikeouts to the first 9 hitters, and this is the leadoff, Brady Orr. Brady Orr, who flew out to left field.
First pitch, obviously, is a ball. I heard a lot of oohs in the crowd. Might have been a closer. I was looking at Lee, actually. 1-0 pitch is outside. That's definitely a ball. 2 balls and no strikes. These umpires have been out here since 11 o'clock, so I'll give them a little shout out. That's a lot of work for them. Pitch is up high. 3 balls and no strikes. Alex's grandmother's here. I met her yesterday for the first time. Really nice lady. I know his mom and dad pretty well. And his brother, as that pitch is a called strike on the inside half of the plate. You know, one of the best parts about high school sports, and I say this all the time, one of the things I like about it is getting to meet not only the kids, but their families. And I've been around long enough to know as that pitch is outside, and that's ball 4. So the leadoff man in their lineup is on base. There are 2 outs, though. The batter now will be
Kane Baber, and Brady Orr is only the second base runner that Maryville has had.
Ben,
let's see how many hits.
Only we have
one hit
failed.
given up.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, what have we failed at? I was going to say that's only 1 hit issued by Alex Franklin. That's the first walk for Alex Franklin.
Coach David Scott says the song that I was singing, his ball's hit to left field. Long run for Carson. He's got speed. He's there. He makes the catch. Carson Fagan with a long run, makes a nice play, and that retires the Rebels. Wildcats see them pick up a base runner, but a great play. The outfielders have made some really big plays. Richie Ferreira in the inning and Carson Fagan to win this inning. Two big plays by the Oak Ridge outfielders.
Talk about a team that wants to be playing this, next week in the sectionals, David. That's two outstanding plays by Richie Ferreira over in foul territory. And I couldn't tell if that ball was going to land foul, but Carson Fagan had to go a long way, had to kind of come in and to his right. And those are two tough plays. I know as a former outfielder, you have to run a long way to catch those balls. You really just kind of have to throw your glove up and kind of put it in a good spot. Outstanding defense for Oak Ridge so far, and this is a team that acts like they want to be playing some sectional baseball.
It's been since 1993. My good friend, Michael Langenberg, started that ball game in 1993. It was against Kingsport Dobbins-Bennett at the old Kingsport Dobbins-Bennett field right there if you're looking down from the press box on the right side of the football field, that's where they played that ball game. And I remember it was a rainy Monday night at Kingsport, and they still had to play the ball game because the state tournament was going to start, and they still played it in a rainy game, and the Dobbins-Bennett prevailed. And they went on and went to the state tournament in that sectional ball game. It was a one-game play game that time. Here's Richie Ferreira, who has really had a really good day. He has hit the ball harder than any other Wildcat in the first two ball games, and he steps in for the Wildcats and takes a ball down low. 1 ball, no strikes, the count. Richie hit the ball over the right fielder's head back in the 5th inning. Pitch to him, hit foul this time over the top of the cars and into the woods over by the Farragut Press Office, owned by Doug Horn, former owner of WATO, who closed it down. 1-1 pitch, hit on the ground, foul again. Kind of put his bat out and hit it down the third base line, and Richie behind in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Batchelor has kind of made things better for the Maryville Rebels. Since he's come in, he's kind of shut the doors. That ball's ripped again. Richie is seeing the ball really well today.
He is. He's had he's seeing it well defensively and offensively. Offensively, he's got at least 3 hits. He had 2 singles in the first game and doubled back in the first. And even some of these balls he's hitting foul, he's still getting good contact.
1-2 pitch. He hits the ball in the right field. Another base hit for Richie Ferreira. His 4th hit of the night, of the day, that is. He had 2 in the first game, 2 more here. And Richie getting on base, and he is having himself a ball game and a day here at Farragut High School. Here comes Alex Franklin, the pitcher. Good start for the Wildcats in the 3rd.
Alex Franklin, back in the first inning, reached on an E5.
First pitch to Alex is a ball, and the count is 1 ball, no strikes. Alex, I think, was a strikeout victim in his first time.
Reached on an error.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Reached on an E5.
I just slammed poor Alex. The pitch, he squares the bunt, bunts it foul. Alex, arguably the best bunter on the team, typically gets it down, typically for base hits. That time, pitch was a little outside and couldn't reach it, and then fouled it off, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Bunting is a lost art. I know Lee doesn't like bunting, but I was a good bunter back in the day. I was. I don't admit to much about my sports career, but I will say I was a pretty good bunter, taught to me by my Uncle George Card, and I was pretty good at that. I wasn't much good at anything else, but I was good at bunting. 1 ball, 1 strike. Alex, and then draws a throw. Richie does. Richie tried to stretch a single into a double. We saw him do that in the Central ball game, in the championship game where he was out. Richie's got to be careful. He's not a bad base runner. Pretty savvy baseball guy. I guess one of those California kids, and that's where he's from. His grandmother's listening and watching our ball game now. Richie draws the throw once again. You saw the quick movement of Vashon Knowles doing camera work today. Peyton did it yesterday. TJ Hibben as well. 5-0 Wildcats. We're in the bottom of the 3rd. Pitches the ball again. 3 balls and 1 strike to Alex Franklin. Kai Welch is on deck for the Wildcats. This is an elimination game. The winner moves on to the section. Wildcats trying to go there for the first time in 31 years. 3 balls and 1 strike. The pitch, ball 4. Wildcats have something going here in the third inning. They have their first two guys aboard with nobody out, and the batter will be Kyron Welch.
Kai also reached on an error back in the first inning, and this will be the first time the entire lineup has now seen Cade Batchelor, who came in relief back in the first inning.
Lead runner is Richie Ferreira. He's at second base. The runner at first is Alex Franklin. I'm kind of surprised they're leaving Alex in to run. There are nobody else as Kyron attempts a bunt, didn't make a stab at it, and the pitch sails out of the strike zone, and the count is 1-0.
Well, the courtesy runner who came in and ran for Alex ended up getting picked off. So I think with 0 outs, I think Coach Freed probably says, you know what, Alex, you're athletic enough, you're smart enough, why don't you go run? Now, I think with 2 outs, you could see a courtesy runner.
High, ball 2. And Alex is a senior. He's a baseball guy. He loves baseball. His choice of major league teams, not to my liking, but he is a baseball guy for sure.
Who's his team?
I think it's the Boston Red Sox.
Oh, who cares?
2 balls and no strikes. The pitch. Kai bunts it off himself, and the count is 2-1. That was ball 3 right there, but his coach tells him to bunt. He bunts, and the count is 2-1.
I said who cares, not meaning who cares what his favorite team is. I was just talking about the Red Sox.
We understand. It's like John Ulrich and his Met-loving ways.
At least the Red Sox win things. I mean, how many titles have the Red Sox won? 4 since 2003 or 4? So at least the Red Sox win.
And the Mets haven't won in John Ulrich's lifetime. 2 balls and 1 strike to Kyron Welch. The Wildcats up 5-0. Takes ball 3. Batchelor is out of the strike zone. He is struggling with his control. He was pretty good the last inning. Got the Wildcats, I believe, in order in that inning. Maybe one guy reached, but he's been a little wild here in the third. Wildcats have runners at first and second. 3-1 pitch to Kai Welch. He bunts it up the third base line. Fair ball. Base hit. Infield single. With a 3-1 count, Kai bunts it, and the third baseman had no play at all. And a good base running by Richie Ferreira to sneak in. The ball went right to the third baseman. He could have tagged him or tagged the bag, but he did not, and the bases are loaded, and that's hit number 5 for the Wildcats.
I thought the third baseman was going to let the ball roll. It was right there hovering the line, and it was getting close to the lip. So I thought the ball could have tailed foul. The problem is the ball is rolling so fast, you got to make a decision. So that's an infield hit, nobody out.
Pitch to Warren is hit foul. Back to the screen. Warren swings hard almost every time, but he has been a solid player for the Wildcats. In the outfield, obviously, and freshman, leads the team in home runs.
Yeah, I don't want to jinx him here. I'd love to see a grand slam. I'd love to hear your call, too. Grand slam right here.
1 strike to Warren East. The pitch. That's the ball. Outside and low. Bases full of Wildcats. Nobody out. Wildcats loaded the bases against Maryville yesterday in 1 inning and failed to score. Finally broke through late in the ball game. Pitch to Warren. Cut on and missed. Warren just needs to get on base. He has proven himself to not be in the strike zone. Warren needs to be a good 2-strike hitter. Caden Black is on deck. Warren, right-handed hitter. Bases full of Wildcats. Oak Ridge on top, 5-0. The pitch. Cut. Foul. Pitch up high, but he stayed alive. Hits it foul back to the screen, and the count remains at 1-2. Alex Myers watching our broadcast today. He was rain-soaked with me on Monday at Central. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Warren. The pitch, cut on and missed. And he goes down for the first out. And here comes Caden Black, top of the order, about to face Batchelor. The Wildcats need to pick up some runs. Got a great golden opportunity, and this is the guy you want up, Lee Wexler, as the base is loaded, and your top hitter leading hitter this year. He hadn't played as many games, was out for a month or so, but this is the guy you want up batting.
Absolutely. He's a leadoff hitter. I believe he was an all-region hitter last year, if I'm correct.
He was all-state.
Yeah, all-state, yeah. So, yeah, right guy up at the right time, 1 out, bases loaded, infield on the edge or on the grass. Let's see, Caden's 0 for 1 with a walk and a fly out to center.
Pitch to him is a base hit. You knew it had to happen. The Wildcats, here comes the green light. Here comes the throw to the plate. Here's a throw at third. He throws the ball away. The Wildcats are going to score 3. The Wildcats, here comes Caden Black all the way to third. And the Wildcats lead 8-0 over the Maryville Rebels. Caden Black does it again for the Wildcats.
Yeah.
Right guy up at the right time. Some throwing errors by Maryville. We're going to get I don't know if we're going to get a pitching change. There's no one in the bullpen, and it's 8-0. This game's really been blown open. Again, don't want to feel too comfortable, but
you
if
feel
you're
pretty
Oak Ridge,
good
you're
at 8
feeling
to
good.
nothing.
Yeah.
And the Wildcats have a runner at third, and that is Caden Black. The Wildcats, this is an elimination ball game, as we said. The Wildcats beat Maryville 7-1 yesterday. The Wildcats now lead 8-0. And this is what I want to talk about. I'll get all three of you in here, maybe even four if Mike will talk. He won't talk. Anyway, the Wildcats got smoked in the first ball game. 21-2 was the final score. They could have very easily hung their heads and said, "We're not a very good team. We don't belong here." But they've come out in this ball game. Their defense has been solid as a rock. It has been all season long, and they've put up 8 runs. They have taken advantage of the Maryville mistakes too. They have committed 4 errors. Ben, you got the mic first, and they could have hung their heads, but they haven't.
Yeah, they didn't. I mean, way to battle through with the last performance in the first game, and then to come back to this one and then compete really, really well so far. And yes, we're only 3 innings in, but it's been 3 innings of really good baseball so far, Dave.
Lee, your thoughts on my comment?
Yeah, I was kind of trying to listen and trying to find the lineup here. We have a pitching change. I really didn't hear what you asked.
I was basically saying the Wildcats could have hung their heads after a 21-2 loss to Farragut, but they've come out here and they've taken advantage of what Maryville has given them. They've put the ball in play. They've gotten good, solid defense. And, as you said, and your word was flush it, and it seems like they have.
Yeah, I also think the experience of being in this exact game last year, I think also, helps a little bit. These guys for Oak Ridge, for the most part, most of these guys have been here before, with maybe the exception of a few like Warren East. But yeah, what I said in the first game, I said if I was Coach Free, I would just tell the team, I'd look at them in the eyes and say, screw what just happened. We're trying to go to sectionals. Let's do it. And it just takes one good game against a team, an opponent you already beat the day prior. And so that's exactly what's been going on so far. 8-0 through the third inning. Oak Ridge still batting, as Cam Welch will be due up. He's due for a hit. He's 0 for 2 with a fly out and a ground out. I'll let Vashon kind of get his comments in. David, I don't know if you want to let him have your mic, but this is the ultimate, flush, and it's a sign of a mature team. I think, just moving on from the first game, and I think you were worried they were sitting in the sun, but
doesn't seem to affect them.
Doesn't seem to be hurting.
It only
them.
affected us. As Cam Welch steps in, the infield is in. Maryville feels they can't give up any more runs, as they're already down in this one, 8-0, and we are in the third inning. Brady Orr is now the pitcher for the Rebels. Runner at third, Caden Black, the pitch. That's a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Maryville had to play back-to-back ball games. The Wildcats played the 11 o'clock game, got a chance to rest a little bit. Cam Welch, as I said, the infield is in. They'll come to the plate, but they're not going to have to because this ball has hit the right field, and that's a base hit, and Caden tags. Here comes the throw, and he's in sliding. 9-0 Wildcats over the Maryville Rebels. The Wildcats with 9 runs on the board with a lot of help. I mean, to be honest with you, the Wildcats have hit the ball, and they've put it in play. They haven't struck out much, but 4 Rebel errors. That one play, the Caden base hit with a base hit, resulted in 3 runs and him getting all the way to third on several miscues by the Rebels. And the Wildcats now have a 9-0 lead over the Maryville Rebels. Here's Mikey. Pitch to him is a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Four runs in. Mikey takes ball 2, or actually ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Thought it was 2 balls and no strikes. I need to watch the game. Unlike Vajon, when Richie made that play in the right corner, you pick on me, I can always talk about Richie's play in right field.
We do not care.
That's my former friend, Vajon Knowles. 1 ball, 1 strike, the pitch. Oh, Mikey is plunked. And Mr. Teasley is heading down to first base. Here comes Peyton Witter. Lee, what has Peyton done today?
Peyton is 1 for 2, had a single back in the first inning. I believe had that swing and bunt that the pitcher just couldn't make a play on. And then Peyton also grounded out to third. Regarding Mikey Teasley, he's been on base all 3 times. Excuse me, I just talked with my mic off the entire time. You asked what Peyton Witter did. 1 for 2, the infield single. This will be Mikey Teasley rather, who's on first, has reached all 3 times.
Mikey's going. Here comes the throw. It's off to the third base side and scoots into center field. And Mikey's going to advance to third. Here's the throw. It's a bad one, and it's a stolen base first for Mikey Teasley, and then an error by the catcher, and the Wildcats have the 10th run in scoring position at third base.
Yeah, if they can get this 10th run across, if you're up by 10 by the 5th inning, I know we're still in the third, that 10th run could be the run rule.
Right-handed hitter. One ball, the pitch is hit to right field, but foul. Oh yeah, you moved the camera that time, Vashon. As the ball.
Yeah, I learned from my mistakes, David. I'm gonna keep moving. I'm gonna move the camera even if I think it's gonna be out. But hey, it's okay. We learn from our mistakes here. That's what mistakes are for.
That's some outstanding in-game adjustments.
Pitch. That's a good call right there, Lee. 2 balls and 1 strike to Peyton Witter. Wildcats with Mikey Teasley at third. The Wildcats have put 4 on the board. They put 5 on the board in the first inning. Pitch, count on and missed, and the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I remember when I walked up, I didn't know Vashon was going to be here today, and you told me Vashon was such a great cameraman. And it's not about having a great cameraman; it's about making in-game adjustments. Vashon just did.
He is my best baseball camera guy. As Peyton almost took one in the backside. Count is full now. 3 balls and 2 strikes. I think it is. Now the scoreboard says 2 balls and 2 strikes. Been too busy bashing Vashon. It is 3 balls and 2 strikes. I should be. I think so. 2 outs. Runner at third, Mikey Teasley. Peyton Witter facing Orr. The pitch. That's a ball. And that is ball 4. We were right, Vashon. We were observant on this. And the Wildcats have runners on the corners once again. Coming into this ball game, I'll just say this, and of course we have a lot of baseball to be played, and this game is by far not over. But I thought coming into the game that we were a better team than Central and Maryville. You wouldn't know it in the regular season because we split with Central in 2 one-run games. A walk-off by Cam Welch in the second game was a one-run game. But we lost to Maryville as the ball was hit on the ground, short hop, fielded, throwing, and in time to retire Parker Free. But another good inning for your Oak Ridge High School Wildcats. Oak Ridge on top of Maryville, 9-0 as we go to the top of the 4th inning. We are live on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio. We'd like to thank the senior parents once again for providing our rights fee for this game. They had to make a check out to Farragut. Here's a true story. I won't say the person it is, and you can kind of guess. Of course, Oak Ridge and Farragut have had a long rivalry ever since really 1977, when the first time we played them in football, and over at Old Farragut Field, and the Wildcats won that game 21-14. But it's been a great rivalry in all sports. We've had a lot of great tussles with them in football. We've dominated the series. We've had some great basketball games. Vashon just had some great games against Farragut as a player, but defensive player of the week both times you played Farragut. He's just changing his mind on that. It's maybe one of the 2 times. Either way, the person who wrote us one of the checks that had to write the check to Farragut said that when they were wanting to write the check to Farragut High School, their printer destroyed it because the printer didn't want to write the check to Farragut High School. That is a true Oak Ridger, at least a sports person. And as the Wildcats lead it now 9-0. Yes, that is a catcher's mitt there. Vashon Knowles. Vashon never played baseball in his career, but you've learned to like the sport, haven't you?
I mean, to an extent. I mean, I started playing MLB The Show a couple months ago, and yeah, I'm on the Guardians right now. I hit nukes. Good fielder. Yeah, so.
But you've been to a lot of Oak Ridge baseball games the last 2 years. I mean, a ton of them. Majority of them, actually.
Yeah, I feel like it's a fun sport to watch whenever there's a lot going on. But at the same time, as a defensive player, mostly, I like to watch good defensive plays. But if it's just like pitcher getting strikes and then everybody striking out all the time, it's not really that entertaining. But other than that, the camera keeps me busy. So yeah.
I'm going to ask Lee a question. He was a pitcher at Riverdale High School back in his playing days, and I'm going to ask him a question in a moment. As Alex Franklin back out for his 4th inning of work, he's given up but 1 hit in the ball game. Who is this, Lee?
This is Cade Batchelor, Batchelor.
If you're a pitcher, Lee, well, let's let Batchelor take this one pitch, and oh, it looked pretty good. Called a ball, 2 balls and no strikes. If you're a pitcher and your teammates have put 9 on the board, you're feeling pretty good, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see this pitch real quick.
Pitch is hit foul on the 2-0 pitch. Ricochets back behind the plate, and the count 2 balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, I mean a 9-0 lead. I mean that's the entire batting order's worth of runs. Absolutely, you're feeling great up 9-0. But the game's not over. You'd like your offense to keep scoring runs. See this
Alex,
pitch.
2 balls, 1 strike to Batchelor. The pitch that's outside, a ball. Kind of contrasting. Go ahead.
I mean, to answer the question, yes, absolutely. The game's not over. This is an important game. You also know on the other side, if you lose this game, your season's over.
3 balls, 1 strike. The pitch, belled high down the middle, called a ball, and that's ball 4. So a good start for the Rebels once again. I believe they got their leadoff man on the last inning, left him stranded. Alex did a really good job of working out of trouble. Sam Young, the batter, batting from the left side against Alex. I don't know who the next up guy is. I would assume we might see Peyton Witter pitch in this ball game. Mikey's still available, I'm sure. So that pitch is a called strike. The count is 0-1.
Yeah, I went down there in pregame and said if I was the coach, which I'm not the coach, but I said Alex and then have Peyton relieve, and then they said, yeah, that's basically what they're thinking. So.
Basically, it's all hands on deck with the exception of Cam Welch, I'm sure, because this is an elimination ball game. So, and it's the same way, I'm sure, with the Maryville team. This is an elimination ball game. Your season ends if you lose the ball game. So, anybody who's eligible or able, Cam Welch is not because he pitched too many pitches yesterday. But everyone else is as that ball's ripped foul down the right side and out of play. And Alex, they hit in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Great pitching so far for Alex, and just wanting him to hold up for this last couple innings that he's going to pitch.
1 ball, 2 strikes, nobody out. Runner at first. Good lead once again. Is that the same guy who had the lead earlier in the ball game and stole the base? Looks like the same guy. His jersey's dirty. He's creeping off the bag, and he is going. That pitch, and here's a good throw. Not in time. Parker just couldn't quite get enough on it. Parker's arm might be getting tired because usually he's a laser shot down there, and they have a runner in scoring position in a 9-0 ball game. Very seldom in May do you see people putting on their jackets, but it's cool here today.
Yeah, David, you're wearing your jacket as a blanket.
Yeah, I'm keeping the sun off me, actually. My legs have been kind of toasted a bit.
Yeah, if I'm in the sun for 2 minutes, I'm fried.
2 balls and 2 strikes, runner at second. 9-0 Oak Ridge. We're in the 4th inning. Alex comes to the plate. Hit in the air, left side. Long run again for Carson Fagan. Carson's been a busy man, and he makes the catch. Bright yellow shoes and all, and that is out number 1. He has gotten a lot of those, a lot of fly balls. The outfielders have been busy today. All 3 of them have contributed. And here's the catcher, Babley, the batter, with a runner at second.
Yeah, I'm counting 4 F7, so that's 4 plays Carson Fagan's made and left, and then Richie, I think, has made 1. Well, really, the 1 play Richie made was way over there in foul territory that we probably didn't get on camera. The batter you asked, that hits him.
And he's hit by a pitch.
This is the catcher, Cohen Babley.
And he was hit by a pitch. And here comes Jeremiah Ball, pitching coach of the Wildcats, the University of Virginia Wise former player, played at Dobbins Bennett High School. He's the pitching coach for the Wildcats. He's talking with Alex. He's probably telling him, okay, guy, you've pitched well to this point. Your team is up 9-0. Throw strikes.
Yeah, he's probably telling him, Maryville really hasn't hit anything hard. They have 1 hit. Let's just throw some strikes. How about some strikes right here, Alex? I think it was a good motivational talk. Wasn't long. He's just saying, breathe, relax. We have a little.
No team is really out of it in this ballpark. It is small. I mean,
Farragut
guys don't need a small park either. They can hit it out of probably the Grand Canyon.
The small park at Farragut.
Yeah, they
named it that.
They call it the ballpark at Farragut, but it is a small park. That's what they call the Cincinnati Park.
Great American Small Park.
Runners at First and second, 1 out, 9-0 Oak Ridge. We're in the fourth. Alex Franklin trying to work out of some trouble. That's been called a strike most of the ball game, but that's a ball. 1 ball and no strikes to count. Ryder Storm is a runner in the ball game for the Rebels. 1-0 pitch from Alex Franklin. Hit foul back our way and onto the road and out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike to count.
Yeah, I'm really pulling for the umpire here. I'm really pulling for him to make some good calls, because if he doesn't make good calls, we're going to hear about it.
1 ball and 1 strike. He's going to hear about it. That pitch, a little bit outside, and it was. And the count is 2 balls and 1 strike. You know, the umpires can hear pretty much what we say. I had one turnaround today, got mad at me. Yeah. 2 balls and 1 strike. Runners at first and second. 2-1 pitch. Hit well into right center field. That's a base hit. Second hit of the ball game. First run of the game for the Rebels. And the ball is brought in back from the outfield, and it's a 9-1 ball game. Nothing fancy. Just got the bat out and swung and hit it into shallow right center field, and it's 9-1 Oak Ridge.
Yeah, the bat at the time was Ryder Storm. This will be Hunter Olivet, who popped out to second, his first at bat.
Only the second hit of the ball game, as Wildcats are going to get Peyton Witter warming up in the bullpen to our left. Alex comes to the plate. Strike zone's getting narrower all of a sudden. He's squeezing it just a bit, when he was a little bit more open with it earlier.
It's the leadoff walk issued by Alex that came around to score Cade Batchelor.
Pitch to the plate is hit in the air. Should be an out. Carson Fagan, Warren East. It's going to be Warren who makes the catch for out number 2. A lot of fly ball outs, and that is the second out of the inning. And they still have runners at first and second. And we're at the lower part of their order. Who's up next for them?
This is Ryan Wade, who flew out to center field, his first at bat. A lot of fly balls.
Right-handed here. Runners at first and second. Wow. Max Fried pitching well today for the Braves. 2 outs here in this one. Pitch. Hit foul back our way over towards the concession stand. There goes the hot dog stand. That's okay. They gave too many free ones away in the first ball game.
Yeah, all Farragut had to do is get a ball to the wall, and they gave away free hot dogs. So they gave away a lot of hot dogs.
1 strike the count. Pitch. Nice stop by Parker Free. Keeps the runners where they were. First and second. And a 1 ball, 1 strike count. Senior parents paid our rights fee to the TSSAA. We appreciate them, all they've done for us and for the players and the team, the program. That ball is hit well to left. It might be out of here. The only thing that we can hope for, it stays foul, and it does go out of the park, and that is a 3-run home run, and we've got a ball game once again. 9-4 is our score. High fly ball just kept sailing over the 305 mark. And it's 9-4. And just like we've said, in this ballpark, no lead is safe because it is a short fence. And that's going to be it, I believe, for Alex Franklin. And Coach Travis Free is going to make the long walk out of the dugout. And he is going to bring Peyton Witter into the ballgame. Peyton got the save in the district championship ballgame. That's what he's trying to do in the region lower bracket championship game for second place. Take a break as Peyton Witter comes into the ballgame. We'll be back to Farragut. 9-4 our score. Back in a moment. Welcome back to Farragut High School, the Region 2 baseball tournament. The Wildcats and Maryville Rebels. Maryville has struck for 4 runs here in the 4th inning to close the gap. Wildcats entered the inning with a 9-0 lead, but it's now 9-4. That third hit of the ball game sailed on to Kingston Pike. Only hope I had when he hit it, I knew it was going to be home run distance. The only hope I hope it was going to continue to move foul, but it cleared the fence with ease. And Peyton Witter comes in to try to keep things right where they are. And Garrett Knopf is the batter. He hit the ball hard the last time, but was out. As I mentioned, he was the losing pitcher yesterday in the win over the Rebels. He's a left-handed hitter facing the left-handed throwing Peyton Witter. 2 outs, the pitch. High and inside, 1 ball, no strikes. He's squared to bunt. Wildcats have Mikey Teasley at third. Caden Black is at short. Kyron Welch at second. Here's the 1-0 pitch. There's a breaking pitch in there for a called strike, and the count is 1-1.
You asked me at the top of the inning if you're Alex Franklin or you're a pitcher and you have a 9-0 lead, do you feel comfortable? And I said yes, and I think Alex may have heard us. I think Alex just lost.
Ball's ripped to right field. Richie Ferreira tries to cut it off. He cannot. It's going to roll to the fence and falls down. They're going to get a runner at third. Richie brings the ball in quickly. Kind of tripped up on the gravel area out on the warning track. And they've got a runner at third with nobody out. And that ball was tagged by Garrett Knopf, who hit the ball hard the last time. And they have an opportunity to close the gap even further. It's a 9-4 ball game. Let's see if Richie's okay. Richie kind of slipped out there, and Richie has been the hottest hitter in today's games. Let's see. Coach Maddox is going to run out to make sure. I don't know if he's cramping. Looks like he's cramping. He's being worked on by Warren East. Gives us an opportunity to thank once again the senior parents for paying our rights fee. Why don't you run down what has happened to this point in the game while we have a break in the action while they attend to the right field for the Wildcats on this East Tennessee Spine and Sport injury timeout.
Well, Oak Ridge got off to a 5-0 lead in the first inning, followed by a couple shutout innings. Followed with Alex Franklin pitching wise. Oak Ridge would then jump out to a 9-0 lead, scoring 4 runs in the third inning. So yeah, got off to a 9-0 lead. Looks like Richie's okay. And then this inning, Alex kind of blew up. I guess he got too comfortable. Lost a little bit of command. I think the umpire started squeezing the zone. Started giving up some hits. Really, the 8-9 hole for Maryville tattooed 2 balls. And so it's getting a little close here. I know it's still a 5-run lead, but Maryville's starting to put the ball in play, starting to capitalize on some walks and some hit batsmen. Peyton Witter coming in, immediately giving up a hard hit ball. And so 4 runs this inning here in the 4th. Maryville's the visiting team. We are in the top of the 4th. 2 outs, runner at third. The batter is Brady Orr.
Leadoff manner. And he swings and he misses. A Peyton Witter delivery, and the count is 0-1. Outfielders remain the same. East, Pereira, and Fagan. Parker frees the catcher. Peyton comes to the plate. Hit in the air. That should be out number 3. A high pop on the infield. Wildcats, somebody's got to make a catch, and it's going to be Cam Welch, who takes control, but almost lost it. He had to run all the way across the top of the mound. It was probably better for one of the guys on the left side to make that play, but Cam makes the play, and that concludes the 4th inning. Near disaster. That would have resulted in another run, but they record the 3rd out. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. We are live here at Farragut High School. The Wildcats on top, 9-4, and we'll be back to Farragut in a moment. Welcome back once again to Farragut High School. The Wildcats lead has been cut to 5 runs. It's now 9-4. 3-run home run by the Rebels got him right back in the ball game. Here's Richie Ferreri. He has 4 hits on the day, 2 against Farragut, 2 against Maryville. The first pitch to him is hit well to left, but drifting foul. And pretty close to home run distance to the opposite field. And Richie falls behind 0-2. 0-1. My apologies. Wildcats, like I said, he has had a hot day. 4 hits on the day. And he hits the ball again, about the same area. Off the end of the bat, foul. Over towards Kingston Pike once again and towards the woods. And he's behind now. No balls and 2 strikes. 9-4 Wildcats, bottom of the 4th inning. Wildcats have out hit them 6-4. And that pitch is down low. The key, as I look up on the board, the key number is the 5 errors that Maryville has recorded in this one, and they've heard all of them. Richie steps back in, 1 ball, 2 strikes on the scoreboard. 1-2 pitch, hit it hard and foul past Coach Maddox, down towards the Farragut bullpen. And let's see if somebody will retrieve it. Number 8's going to very, very slowly jog to get that ball, and they're holding up play for him, and he is not putting much effort into that at all. I believe I could get down there quicker.
Good thing we're not on a pitch or timer clock here in high school.
It's more like a calendar as he jogs down to get the ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the pitch. Cut on a miss, and Richie goes down swinging, and the hottest hitter on the Wildcat team goes down. The Wildcats are about to send a pinch hitter to the plate. Looks like Cy Stevens is going to be batting. And I believe he's hitting in for Alex Franklin in the lineup. Is that correct?
Now batting number 22, Cy Stevens.
Well, that's right, because Alex Franklin was the pitcher who was pulled from the game for Peyton Witter. So this will be, Cy Stevens hitting. I have an ant on my microphone.
First pitch is fouled at the plate. The count is 0-1, 1 out, nobody aboard. Wildcats in the lead, 9-4 over Maryville in this elimination ball game. Pitch to Cy is a strike right down Kingston Pike. The count is 0-2.
Yeah, Brady Orr's come in. He's got 4 outs. Issued a walk to Peyton Witter the last inning. Brady Orr, he's coming in and throwing strikes.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. That's called strike 3. I was going to say, I know that wasn't a great at-bat there for Cy coming cold off the bench, but one of the bright spots in the Farragut ball game had to be the pitching of Cy Stevens, who came in, and he really was the only pitcher that was effective in the ball game, in the Farragut game.
This is Kai Welch. He's reached both times, reached on an error back in the first inning and then singled in the third.
Rebels trying to get their first 1-2-3 inning of the ball game. Kai, the batter, he takes the ball. On deck is Warren East. There are 2 outs. 9-4 Wildcats. The pitch hit softly to the second baseman. He has to field it on 1 hop. He does, and then he fumbles it, and that's error number 6. Ball was just a little bloop, and it fell right in front of him, and I think he thought it was going to take a little bit of more of a bounce. It hit the grass and didn't go anywhere. It just went thud. And Kyron reaches, and that sends Warren East to the plate. And if it does anything, even though there's 2 outs, it gets the number 9 hitter to bat in this inning. And Caden will lead things off if Warren doesn't reach base here in the 4th. And indeed, a balk is called. So the Wildcats now have a runner in scoring position. And not everybody saw it. Go ahead.
Yeah, that was a good call. He balked. He came set and then moved his shoulders. I saw that. That's a good call. Umpires got that one right. He moved his shoulders. He did step off, but it doesn't matter. If he comes set and you move your shoulders, it doesn't matter if you step off immediately after. You move those shoulders when you're set. That's a balk. So that's a good call.
Balk's an odd call. It's more about deceiving the base runner. And I don't know how that actually deceived him, but that is the call and it is the proper call. Here's Warren. The pitch to him almost grazed his left arm, and it's a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Need to get Warren going. Need this run in. Runner takes the lead. Wildcats need a little bounce back. Get us something back after that 4-run explosion as the ball's ripped to left and foul. Just foul by about 6 or 8 feet. And the count is 1-1. Hard hit ball, though. His family giving him encouragement along with the rest of the Wildcat faithful here at Farragut. It's been a long day. We started things out at 11 o'clock, and let's see, we're sitting at about 6:22 right now.
Not as bad as last year. Last year at Carson Newman, you're further away. It was hotter. Yeah.
Yeah. 1 ball, 1 strike. Warren East, freshman, back in. Pickoff play back to second, and easily back to the bag will go the Wildcat runner. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, 9-4 Wildcats. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning here at Farragut High School. 1-1 pitch, that hit him. And here comes Caden. That's not exactly what Maryville wanted to happen. They wanted Warren to be the 3rd out of the inning because Mr. Dependable, Mr. Clutch, Caden Black, will step in for the Wildcats. He kind of got things rolling in that big inning in the 3rd with a big hit and a throwing error, and he was able to scoot around the 3rd and eventually came in to score. Wildcats with runners at now 1st and 2nd with 2 outs, and Black the batter.
This is Caden Black. Brady Orr, he got 2 quick strikeouts and then error and a hit batsman.
Ball's ripped to the right fielder, though. The ball was hit right on the button. He barreled it up, but right at the right fielder. Well hit ball, but out. Wildcats pick up a couple of base runners. They leave them stranded. We go to the top of the 5th inning. Here at Farragut, the Wildcats on top 9-4 in this elimination ball game. The winner goes to the sectional tournament to travel to Sevier County to take on the Smoky Bears in a series next week beginning on the 15th. We go to the 5th inning live here at Farragut High School. We will be back to Farragut in a moment. David Clary back here along with Sean Knowles, Lee Wexler, Ben George is with us as well. The Wildcats, Oak Ridge on top 9-4 in this elimination ball game over Maryville. A lot of baseball to be played. We're only in the 5th inning, play 7 in high school. Appreciate all of our viewers today. Farragut game at 11, and as Baber steps in for the Rebels here in the 5th. Rebels scoring 4 in the previous inning. The Wildcats scored 5 in the 1st, 4 in the 3rd. As Baber steps in against Peyton Witter. In the first pitch, almost hit him. I don't know how it didn't. And the count is 1-0. Boy, I don't know how that didn't hit him.
Nothing like an old-fashioned first pitch of the inning behind the batter, sending a message.
1-0 pitch. Outside a ball, 2 balls and no strikes. Don't want to give any free passes, as we've said. We saw a 3-run home run earlier. They got them back in the ball game. 2-0 pitch, cut on a miss. Sean has gone to the restroom. I don't think he'd be too embarrassed if I said that. Ben's taking over the camera work. 2 balls and 1 strike, the pitch. That's a ball outside, not a bad pitch, just outside the zone, and the count is 3-1. No free passes, Peyton. Working quick, maybe a little bit too quick. 3-1 pitch. That's outside, ball 4. You know, Peyton likes to work fast. He does for sure. And here comes another big guy for the Maryville Rebels. Well, they've got a runner. Their leadoff man aboard here in the 5th inning.
This is Cade Batchelor, struck out looking in the 1st and then walked.
He was the 2nd pitcher used by the Rebels in this ball game. Runner at first. Lefty comes to the plate, cut on and missed. Mitch and Peyton kind of endured something that you don't normally see in the game on Monday. We had a rain delay. He was on the mound as the 7th inning began, and there was 1 out. The Wildcats needed 2 outs to win the ball game. As Peyton's second pitch comes in a little outside and low. He was the pitcher on the mound as the inning began. About an hour and a half, or maybe even longer later, the game resumed, and he went right back out there and got the final 2 outs and got the save for the Wildcats. Long delay. 1 ball, 1 strike. Runner at first. Pitch to the plate. Breaking pitch in there for a called strike. Nice pitch that time by Peyton Witter.
Yeah, great pitch. Backdoor, breaking ball, lefty on righty, breaking ball. Pitch really was never a strike, and it came into the zone at the last second. Great pitch.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Pitch. Hit in the air, center field to the shortstop, actually. I thought it was hit a little better than that. I got fooled. Caden Black makes the catch right behind the bag to the third base side of the bag, and that is out number 1. Thought the ball was hit a little bit better than that, but Caden was there. We've had a lot of pop-ups in this game.
Yeah, we have, and I'm looking at Maryville's lineup. only 2 strikeouts for Maryville.
Lefty versus lefty. They have a runner at first, and there's a pickoff attempt over at first, and Cam Welch makes a nice play and a low throw, and back to the bag goes the runner. You're exactly right, Lee. I remember thinking back to last year's games at Carson Newman. It was a long day. It's been a long one here. Pitch, breaking pitch, another nice one in there for a called strike. He's got that one going all of a sudden, Lee.
He's kind of figuring his breaking ball a little bit, and it's one of those where it starts off as a ball and just kind of gets in the strike zone at the last second.
Kind of like a frisbee, the old
Sure.
frisbee throw. Pitch, outside corner. He called that earlier. That's low, I guess. 1 ball and 1 strike. I don't want to hammer the umpires. They've actually done a really good job. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on, 9-4 Oak Ridge. Witter checks the runner. He's going. The pitch hit foul, and he'll have to return. Little breaking pitch off the end of the bat, and the count is 1-2.
Probably a good thing that Sam Young, the hitter for Maryville, swung at that, because the runner at first, Kane Baber, had that bag stolen.
One ball, 2 strikes. Good lead at first. 1-2 pitch. Here it comes. Cut on a miss. That's a strikeout, and a really, really nice pitch. He's getting good work out of his breaking pitch, and that is out number 2.
Yeah, 3rd strikeout for the Maryville lineup. This is Cohen Babele, who has struck out and was hit by a pitch. Scored the 2nd run of the game for Maryville.
Are you babbling, Babely?
Babele, yeah.
2 outs, runner at first. Witter comes to the plate. That pitch stays up high and outside. The count is 1-0. We're in the top of the 5th inning, live here at Farragut. 9-4 Wildcats. The Wildcats scored 5 in the first, 4 more in the third. They scored 4 in the fourth to make it a 9-4 ball game. Throw over to first and back to the bag he goes. The outfield, Carson Fagan is in left. The center fielder is Warren East, and right field, it's Cy Stevens, correct. Boy, Cy comes in, and I just looked at, I should have noticed it by the shoes. Thank you, Bashan. As 1 ball, no strikes. The pitch, runner is not going. That pitch stays up high. 2 balls and no strikes. They needs to throw strikes here. We saw a 3-run home run to get them right back in the ball game earlier. Doesn't need to walk this guy. Just put the ball in play. 2 balls and no strikes. Size in left, Warren in center, Rich in right. 2-0 pitch. Cut on and missed.
You know, in last year's ball game, the Oak Ridge pitchers issued north of 20 walks and hit batsmen combined. And this one, I'm counting 3 walks and a hit batsman, so much better this year.
2 balls and 1 strike. Pickoff play again. Easily back to the bag. 2 outs. We're in the 5th inning in a game that has started at 4:45. We're sitting at about almost getting close to 2 hours. It's about, I guess it's about 6:30 now. So about 15 minutes away from the 2-hour mark. 2-1 pitch. Hit foul again. Pitch was inside, but he swung and hits it to the screen, and the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sectional begins on the 15th of May. What day is that? Is that a...
I have no idea.
Yes. That's a Wednesday. Thank you, Bashan. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Peyton wants to get him right here. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs. The pitch. Cut on a miss. Strike 3 swinging, out number 3 here in the 5th inning. Good job by Peyton Witter. They pick up a base runner. They leave him stranded. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning here at Farragut. The Wildcats trying to make the sectional for the first time since 1993 when Michael Wayne Langenberg started the ball game in 1993 against the Dobbins-Bennett Indians. The Wildcats fell that time. The Wildcats haven't been to a state tournament since the early 70s. Wildcats hoping to get to that next step today and get over the hump and get a chance to make a state tournament for the first time since the 70s. They need to win this ball game and then win a couple games against somebody in the sectional. The Sevier County Smoky Bears will be the destination of the winner of this ball game. 9-4 Oak Ridge. We'll be back for the bottom of the 5th in a moment.
Leading off for the Wildcats, the first baseman, number 23, Cam Welch.
Back to Farragut we are. Broadcasting here this ball game. Cam Welch leads things off for the Wildcats here in the bottom of the 5th inning in a 9-4 ball game. The pitch to Cam is a ball, 1 ball and no strikes.
I don't really like the way this game is turned. I would really love it if Oak Ridge would add on some insurance runs. I know it's a 5-run game, but Maryville's kind of punched back a little bit. Things have started to tilt in Maryville's way. I know it was a 9-0 lead, which is a pretty comfortable lead, but in an elimination game like this, you can never be too comfortable and never too careful.
Pitch to Cam, swung on a miss. The ball is 1 ball. Count is 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's a little piece of trivia. Oak Ridge is the only team today, Central, Maryville, and Farragut, that has yet to hit a home run in this one. All 3 others have. As the pitch to Cam is up high, and the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. 9-4 the score. We're in the 5th inning. Cam, the leadoff man this frame. The pitch to him is down low, a ball. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Alex Franklin started the ball game. Peyton Witter has pitched in relief of Big Al. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Aiden is his name. Aiden Alexander Franklin. 3-2 pitch, cut on a miss, and that's strikeout. And you're right, Orr's come in and done a really good work for the Maryville Rebels since he's come into the ballgame, much like we saw Cy come in the Farragut ballgame.
Yeah, Orr's come in and done well, and this is Mikey Teasley, who's reached all 3 times, a walk, or actually 2 walks and a hit by pitch.
Mikey Teasley bats, and he hits the ball on 1 hop to the third baseman, fields it, throws it, out. Wildcats going quickly here in this frame. And the batter now will be Peyton Witter, the pitcher. What has Peyton done today?
Peyton is 1 for 2, hit an infield single, grounded out to third, and walked. Like I said, I don't really like the way this game has kind of turned a little bit. Really, since Maryville's brought in Orr, it's still a 9-4 lead for Oak Ridge. They're sitting in a good spot, but I would like to see Oak Ridge kind of relaxed a little bit. They got that 9-0 lead and kind of relaxed.
Offensively, we'll say.
Yeah.
As the ball is hit foul off to the right. And the count is 0-1. 2 outs. We're in the 5th inning. 2 more frames, 6 more outs to work with. The Maryville Rebels trying to get back in the ball game. They trail it 9-4. Pitch to Peyton, hits him in the back. And down the first he'll go, and the batter will be Parker Free. Parker's got to be tired. He's caught 2 ball games. Well, part of one. Kyron came in to catch part of the Farragut ball game. And, you see in the major league level, it's hard for a guy to catch a doubleheader, and especially 2 hot, sunny days. And Parker's got to be tired. I mean, it's been a sunny day, not hot, but 2 games is hard to do behind the plate.
Yeah, and of course he had to sit in the sun and take a game off, and so he's been up for a long time today. This is Parker Free. We have, I think, a courtesy run over there at first.
That is Cam Britton, sophomore, running. Got good speed. 1 ball. The count. 2 outs. 9-4 Oak Ridge. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Pitch is hit in the air to right field. Right to him, and that is out number 3. Ball hit well to the outfield, but out. Wildcats pick up a base runner. They've done that, I believe, in every single inning in this game. They fail to score. We go to the 6th inning here at Farragut High School in this elimination ball game, in this game to decide who plays in the sectional tournament. Farragut's already there by virtue of their victory today over Oak Ridge. They are the Region 2 champions. The winner of this game is the runner-up, and they'll also go to the sectional tournament to take on the Sevier County Smoky Bears. We are live on our YouTube channel thanks to a donation from the senior parents at Oak Ridge High School at the baseball program, and we appreciate them and what they've had to deal with over the last 4 years as a part of this program has grown from what the Mount Cody's would describe it as not great baseball to really good baseball in the last couple of years, and it's only going to get better. A very young baseball team, few seniors, probably a total of 8 or 9 seniors on the team. Unfortunately, a lot of those don't play, but for the most part, you've got 3 seniors that play a lot, and most of the rest of the group will be coming back next year. 9-4 Oak Ridge. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back to Farragut. David Clary, Vashon Knowles, Lee Wexler. We're also joined by Ben George here. Wildcats lead at 9-4, but still 6 outs to play with in a small ballpark here at Farragut. High walls, but short fences. And Peyton Witter is going to come out once again. He's in relief of Alex Franklin, who gave up the 4 runs in that 1 inning, 3 of them on a long home run. Lefty versus lefty. Ryder Storm, the batter. The Doors sang that song, according to Coach Scott. There's a breaking pitch, and there 4 called strike. I think everybody's got to be tired. This is back-to-back games for Maryville. There's a strike, strike 2. Maryville's played back-to-back ball games. The Wildcats played an 11 o'clock game, so they were here super early. Had to get up early to get to the field. 2-strike pitch from Peyton. Oh, he wanted to, did not. Pulled back on the bat and held up, and the count is 1-2. Braves have a no-hitter going in the 9th inning. And the Wildcats, that pitch just on the outside half of the plate. And the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Peyton comes to the plate. That's a ball. That is outside and doesn't want to walk anybody. As I've said many times before, he's right around the strike zone. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Parker Free, the catcher, with the sign. 3-2 pitch. Here it comes. Hit in the air. That should be an out. Richie Ferreira in his tracks. Comes in now 2 or 3 steps and then can't make the play. And I was fooled too as well. Richie didn't move a whole lot. We've got not a high sky today. He just couldn't pick it up. He saw it and it looked like he had it, but it was hit much shallower and he had to come in and couldn't make the play. And that is the first error of the ball game for the Wildcats. The Maryville has a runner at second base with nobody out.
I think the ball just got kind of lost in the clouds a little bit, and I think he maybe have misread it. I think he got a late break coming in, and the wind has kind of picked up a little bit. The sun, I don't know if we'll see the sun again for the rest of the day because there's a lot of clouds here, but yeah, misplay. And
the Maryville Rebels committed several errors in the Wildcats scoring innings, and the Wildcats took advantage of them. See, the Wildcats can shut down Maryville after a mistake. Well, albeit it should have probably been the first out as he bunts it foul. And the count is 0-2. Who is this batting?
This is Hunter Olivet, who is 0 for 2. I think we've only seen one successful bunt today, and I think it came from Oak Ridge.
He was the 9-hitter in the game yesterday. 2 strikes, Peyton Witter trying to work through a mistake. 0-2 pitch. Ball hit foul again. Over back this way, over towards the concession stand and out of play. It's a beautiful ballpark here. There's a lot of grass and there's a hill right above the on the right side of the field where spectators can watch. 0-2 pitch. Hit in the right field. That's a base hit. And Richie comes up with it cleanly, and they've got him on the corners, and here comes the throw in. A nice throw by Richie. And all of a sudden, the Rebels have 2 on and nobody out. And we're getting towards we're at the bottom of their order, but the top of the order is looming. Good job of hitting. He just popped his bat out there on an 0-2 pitch and popped it into right field.
Yeah, the 7, 8, 9 hitters for Maryville all have hits. And the 8, 9 hitters back in the 4th inning, both their previous at-bats had a double and a homer. So this game's kind of tilted in the favor of Maryville, really, since they brought in their relief pitcher, Brady Orr.
Did you say this really is the guy who hit the home run earlier?
Let's see. Yeah, this is the Ryan Wade who hit the home run. I guess it was a grand slam, I believe.
It was a 3-run home run.
A 3-run homer, yeah. So this guy hit the home run for Maryville earlier.
Pitch to him is hit foul back our way again. And it's going to be close to a little kid. And, somebody goes tumbling. Is that Seth Caldwell? I can't tell if that's Seth or not.
Well, you know what's important, David, is that gentleman was throwing his body on the line to save the women and children. That's what it's all about, throwing your body on the line to save the women and children.
And that's what he did. He went tumbling. 1 ball, 1 strike, the pitch. Breaking pitch stays up high. 9-4 our score, but things are getting interesting here at Farragut. They've got runners on the corners with nobody out. We're in the 6th inning. Wildcat offense hasn't scored since the 3rd. Maryville's Peyton comes in, pitches up high. It's 3-1. Just got to settle down a little bit. No action in the Oak Ridge bullpen. No action in the Maryville bullpen. Orr has done a good job, as Lee said, shutting down the Wildcats. 3-1 pitch. Hit hard but foul down the third base line, and the count's full, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Nobody in the bullpen for Oak Ridge or Maryville. Not Maryville doesn't need anybody in their bullpen because Brady Orr's coming in and throwing well. But nobody in the bullpen. This, Ryan Wade, 1 for 2. Homered back in the 4th. Also flew out to center.
Wade steps back in, right-handed hitter. Stocky, wearing the number 22. Witter with a 3-2 pitch. Here it comes. Hit again, foul off to the right. This one Drops harmlessly this time. And the count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Wade doing a pretty good job staying alive. Good at bat for the number 8 hitter in their lineup, who is a 3-run home run to his credit, as we mentioned. Witter has the sign from Parker. The pitch hit foul. Took something off of that one. And ball is hit foul back to the screen. And once again, we'll have a full count.
Win it, Pete.
A lot of energy in the Maryville dugout. 3-2 pitch from Peyton Witter. Ripped, foul. That's home run distance again, but foul by about 15 feet. Took some branches down on those trees as it sailed into Kingston Pike. He has a 3-run home run already to his credit, and he almost had another one, but foul. See what Peyton delivers on another 3-2 pitch. He wipes off the perspiration, steps back in the box. Interesting scenarios happening here at Farragut Field. 3 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch hit in the air. That should be an out. It's on the infield. Mikey Teasley calls for it. He makes the catch for out number 1. Good job of pitching for Peyton. He fell behind in the count and then induced a pop-up to a guy who hit a 3-run home run, and that is the first out in the inning. Good job there.
This is the 9-hole Garrett Nuff, who's 1 for 2, doubled back in the 4th. This will be the first time that Maryville has now seen Peyton Witter twice.
He hit the ball hard the first time on that 1 out. He's hit the ball hard twice in the game, lefty versus lefty. Runners on the corners. Pickoff play at first. Back he goes safely.
Yeah, Witter's got to be careful. Honestly, I think he balked. He kind of dropped his shoulders there a little bit, but yeah, balk would score a run.
No count as of yet. Knopf back in. Peyton comes to the plate. Breaking pitch. I guess a little low, maybe a little outside. And the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Braves 2 outs away from a no-hitter over the Mets. 1 ball, no strikes. Pitch. Cut on and missed. Really nice pitch that time. Had him way out in front, and the count is even at 1-1. 2 on, runners at first and third. We're in the 6th inning. There's 1 out. 9-4 the Wildcats in the lead. Witter comes to the plate. Runner is going. That's a ball. Doesn't go ahead with the throw, and they've got 2 runners in scoring position and a 2 ball, 1 strike count. Wildcats by 5. It was 9. Wildcats have got to get their bats rolling again in the final 2 innings. Hopefully 1.
Both teams now have 6 hits.
2 outs. 2 balls, 1 strike to Knopf. Knopf. Knoff.
Basically, the difference in the game right now is that there's 6 errors by Maryville.
Big difference in the ball game for sure. The Wildcats have 1 in this inning. Pitch called, strike 2. Fastball on the outside half of the plate at the knees, and the count is even 2-2. Oh boy. Last out, and the no-hitter is gone, but who cares? Let's go back to this one. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pitch, hit in the air, left side, Cy Stevens. Over, under, makes a one-handed grab. Here comes the play in, and they'll score on a sacrifice fly and an RBI, and the Wildcat lead is cut to 9-6. 9-5, my apologies. I looked up on the scoreboard. Cy got the play and made the play, and that's out number 2. Good job of hitting, hit it to the opposite side, and good job by the outfitters who have played incredibly well. Craig Rigel in the house. Long time no see. Do you remember my name? David Clary. But yeah, I'm still doing it. As Peyton Witter, yeah, hits the ball to left field. Cy Stevens back on it. Should make the play, and he does. And that ends the inning. So creep a little bit closer. It is 9-5 now. The Wildcats in the lead as we go to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Oak Ridge in the lead, and we'll be back on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio, in a moment. Talking to Craig Grigel, former Oak Ridge educator, former superintendent of schools in Athens. 9-5 the score. The Wildcats hit the ball hard to left field, pretty deep, but not deep enough. The left fielder over and makes the play to retire Richie Ferreira, and that has not been an easy job today, as Richie has been right on it with 4 hits today. That's out number 1 here in the 6th. The Wildcats. Batter now will be Cy Stevens.
Oak Ridge does not have a hit off of Brady Orr. Oak Ridge does not have a hit since the 3rd inning. Orr has issued a walk and a hit batsman, but that is it. Or actually 2 hit batsmen.
Cy takes a pitch down low, 1 ball, no strikes. If there was a bright spot, and I mentioned this earlier, if there was a bright spot in the Farragut game, it was the pitching of Cy Stevens. He pitched really well, held the Admirals scoreless while he was in. Swings and he misses. He has struggled as of late at the plate for the Wildcats. And he'll be the first one to tell you. He's got home run power. He's hit a couple this year. He hit 6 at Hardin Valley. Pitch, hit in the air, on the infield. And it's in foul territory. The third baseman circles, makes the catch. That is out number 2. So the Wildcats down to their final out here in the 6th. The Wildcats need 3 outs, and they'll head to the sectional tournament. But the Wildcats could use a little insurance.
Yeah, and, you know, we want to stay positive. It is a 4-run lead for Oak Ridge. Really, since the 3rd inning when Orr came in, Oak Ridge has pulled the classic take your foot off the gas. It's not really what you want to do. You want to keep your foot on the gas. Orr is still not giving up a hit.
Here comes the pitch, hit first pitch to right field, and that's out number 3. So we go to the top of the 7th inning. Here at Farragut, the Wildcats are 3 outs away from advancing to the sectional tournament as the Wildcats, they'll be facing the top of the order for the Maryville Rebels.
It'll be 2, 3, 4 due up for Maryville when we come back.
4-run game. The Wildcats on top 9-5. We'll take a break. We appreciate Bashan Knowles, Lee Wexler, and Ben George has helped us out a bit here. And earlier today, the Wildcats lost to Farragut, but the Wildcats can redeem themselves the win, and they need 3 outs to do it. We appreciate the senior parents for paying our rights fee. Oak Ridge on top 9-5. We'll be back for the 7th inning in a moment. David Clary back here along with Lee Wexler, Vashawn Knowles, the Wildcats, Peyton Witter trying to close out this region tournament ball game like he did Monday night in the district championship ball game. He's overthrowing a little bit on his warm-ups. Wildcats need 3 outs, and they are going on to a place where they haven't been since 1993. But Maryville has a lot to say about that. They've gotten back in the ball game, 4 runs in the 4th, 1 in the 6th to make it a 9-5 ball game. The Wildcats led at one time 9-0 in this game. Shortstop, Kane Baber is the batter. He's been on base a few times as he bats from the left side against the left-handed throwing Peyton Witter. Wildcats on top 9-5. Need 3 outs here. Squares to bunt, takes a strike on a fastball, and the count is 0-1. Baber behind in the count. 1 strike, the pitch. That's a ball. And the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike.
Baber 0 for 2, 2 flyouts and a walk.
Peyton comes in with a pitch. There's a fastball, called strike 2 at the knees. He's a tall guy, tall, lanky kid, and I think he thought it was low, but I think it's right at the knees. He's got the socks up, pulled up high. He's behind in the count 0-2. Peyton working fast, the pitch. That's a ball. Scoreboard says it's 1-2. No outs, nobody on. 7th inning, 9-5 Oak Ridge. The Wildcats trying to eliminate Maryville and move on. 2-strike pitch. Oh, just a little bit outside. And the count is 2-2. Witter has the sign from Parker again. 2-2 pitch. Hit hard but foul. Down the first base line. And the count remains 2-2. Wildcats coached by Travis Free. Wildcats trying to reach the sectional for the first time since Nelson Glover was the head coach in 1993. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Wildcats have had Tom Froning, Mark Garrison in between that time, and Coach Free. They've had some great teams, but never reached the sectional. 2-2 pitch. That's high. And I guess that's ball 4. I guess the scoreboard was wrong. And the umpire says it's ball 4, and that's a good start for the Rebels once again. Just a little out of the strike zone. Cade Batchelor, the batter. The Wildcats in the lead by 4, but things are getting tense, as you expect in a game like this. Maryville facing elimination. They don't want their season to end right here. They want to extend this game, maybe extend their season. Pitches the ball. This is Peyton's game. Nobody warming up. Wildcats still have Mikey Teasley. He could still pitch. He pitched some today in the Farragut ball game. They have others. Carson Fagan. Pitch. Ball 2. Oh, here's a pickoff play, and he is out. Oh, he called him safe. Wow. Bang, bang play at first.
I think he was safe by a hair.
We'll check.
I think someone needs. I think it'd be wise for one of the coaches to take a mound visit right here. He just issued a walk, and now he's behind 2-0 as Peyton Witter. I go talk to him.
2 balls, no strikes. The pitch. Hit well to left. Cy Stevens back on it. He should make the catch, and he does. One-handed grab. That is out number 1, and they're down to their final 2 outs. The ball was hit well to the warning track. Cy makes the play right in front of the fence on the gravel.
The DH, 12, Young.
This is Sam Young. He is 1 for 3 with a single, a flyout, and a strikeout.
Runner at first. 1 out here in the 7th. 9-5 Wildcats. Witter trying to close it out and send the Wildcats to the sectional. Strike. Right down Kingston Pike. Short lead at first. I don't think he'll be running. Down 4 runs. Breaking pitch hit on the ground. Softly, the second baseman. High flips it on to Caden Black. They've got the force, and the Wildcats are 1 out away from the sectional tournament. Ball was a little cue ball. And we're down to this. 1 out to go. runner at first. The Wildcats up 9-5, trying to beat Maryville for the second consecutive day and trying to head to the sectional tournament for the first time since 1993.
Cohen Babele 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts and a hit by pitch.
1 out away. As I said, in the district championship game, Mikey Teasley started. Peyton came in and closed it out. And we're going to get a courtesy runner in the ball game, maybe a little more speed. That's number 5, Isaac Croy. He steps in. Wildcats need an out. That's all. 1 out. The Wildcats will be moving on to the next round. As like I said, they haven't been there in 31 years. 2 outs. Peyton Witter throws over to first and back to the bag he goes. Wildcats started the day with a little rough one against the defending state champions. Lost that game, and Farragut won the region championship. This is for second place in the region and moving on. Peyton comes to the plate, the pitch. There's a called strike at the knees, outside half of the plate, and the count is 0-1. Get ready to get the celebration if indeed he records the out here, Mr. Knowles. 1 strike the pitch. That's outside and high. And the count is 1-1. One ball, 1 strike. Runner at first. 2 outs. 7th inning. 9-5 Wildcats. Peyton to the plate. And it's outside a ball. 2 balls and 1 strike. Peyton told me the other day that, in his previous team, they never even made it out of the district. And right now he's at the precipice, I said that wrong, of the sectional tournament. Precipice. Pitch is a called strike. Maryville perhaps down to their final strike of their season. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The Oak Ridge fans are about to come to their feet. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Peyton Witter, perhaps 1 strike away from sending the Wildcats to the sectional tournament. Pitch is hit foul off to the right, and the inning continues. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Appreciate all of our senior parents who paid for our stream today. Appreciate all of our sponsors who have sponsored these tournament ball games. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 4-run lead for the Wildcats. Wildcats making noise. That's the Oak Ridge crowd clapping in unison, trying to encourage Peyton Witter. Ball is hit in the air, foul territory. Cam gives it a look, but it's over the dugout and out of play once again. So the drama continues here at Farragut High School. So I'm beginning to set. We've been here since 11 o'clock. It's a little past 7. As the Wildcats, it doesn't matter how long we have been here. If the Wildcats can get this final out. 2 balls, 2 strikes, runner at first, Peyton Witter, the pitch, hit again, foul off to the right side. Maryville spoiling the celebration of the Wildcats, if indeed they can hold on and win this game. Still a 4-run game, but still 1 out to play with. As long as they have an out, they have life. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Peyton has the sign from Parker Free. Throw over to first, and he wasn't really too far off the bag. And we'll once again have a 2-2 pitch. We'll have the postgame show following, player interviews and Coach Free. Hopefully a victorious Wildcat team. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. On to severe counting we go! The Wildcats have won and have eliminated the Maryville Rebels. A strikeout swinging at Oak Ridge defeats Maryville 9-5, and the Wildcats are headed to the sectional round for the first time since 1993. The Wildcats win the ball game 9-5, and the 2 teams will shake hands back-to-back games against the Maryville Rebels. After being swept in the regular season by Maryville, the Wildcats come back and beat them in consecutive days when it mattered in the region tournament, and the Wildcats are headed to the sectional tournament. along with the Farragut Admirals, they will play the Sevier County Smoky Bears. As the claps go up, the applause for the Maryville Rebels out of District 4. So moving on will be the two district champions, and that's the way it should be. District 4 champion Farragut, District 3 champion Oak Ridge High School Wildcats. So for the first time since 1993, the Wildcats are headed to the sectional round of the state baseball tournament. Congratulations to Travis Free and a host of the other Wildcats. Oak Ridge wins by a final score of 9-5. We're gonna take a break here. We are live at Farragut High School. Let Lee work on the statistics. The Wildcats win it 9-5. Stay tuned for the post game. We'll be back to Farragut here in a bit. David Clary back here along with Sean Knowles, Lee Wexler, Ben George. We'll have a post-game show that includes player interviews and Coach Free. But Sean, I know Lee's working on the final tally. Good win for the Wildcats. They did take that next step, and they did it today. They had to kind of suffer a little bit of, humiliation in the first game, getting kind of run-ruled by the Farragut Admirals, but they bounced back to win it 9-5.
Yeah, first game was a tough game. First game was a tough game, and I feel like we started pretty good. Mikey gave up a couple runs, and then when Cy came in, I feel like that's just something that we're gonna look back on if we see them in state. So that's something that we can look forward to, and then also just winning this game is the next step for Coach Free. I was talking to you about it, David, about earlier how this can be like a big point of his career, and like just put him over the top. So I feel like it's a great win and great team game today. So yeah.
You know what you said. Why don't you say what you actually said about Coach Free? I thought it was funny.
I said if Coach Free wins this, he might get that contract extension. That he gonna get paid. He gonna get that back.
Got player interviews coming up. Coach Free as well. Lee, you've got the final tallies and statistics for the ball game.
Yeah, starting with Oak Ridge, who advances to the sectional. Let's start with pitching. Alex Franklin, 3 2/3, shoved those first couple of innings, kind of ran into some trouble there in the fourth. Alex Franklin, the official line is 3 2/3 innings pitched, only allowed 3 hits, issued 2 walks, allowing 4 runs. Peyton Witter would come on in relief, pitching 3 1/3 inning, giving up 3 hits, 2 walks, and only issuing 1 run. So only 4 walks issued by the Oak Ridge pitchers in this game. And let's flip over and look at Maryville's pitching staff. Max Coleman started the game for Maryville, only got an out in the first inning, allowed 3 hits, 2 walks, gave up 5 runs. Cade Batchelor came in relief through 2 innings, gave up 3 hits, 3 walks, allowing 4 runs. And then really for Maryville, it was Brady Orr who came in strong in relief for Maryville. Brady Orr came in relief way back in the 3rd inning, pitched 3 2/3 innings, did not allow a hit. So Oak Ridge never got another hit after the 3rd inning. So I like the way the start Oak Ridge got off to, was hitting the ball well, capitalized on some Maryville defensive errors. But Brady Orr from Maryville came in and shoved 3 2/3 innings pitched, 0 runs, walked a guy and hit 3 guys, but did not give up a run. However, it doesn't matter because Oak Ridge was able to capitalize on the starting pitching as well as the second guy, Max Coleman and Cade Batchelor, who came in and threw. Let's look at the hitting lineup for the Wildcats. as my body, excuse me, I've sneezed so many times. I don't know what it is about this side of the state. I haven't had allergy problems at all, except when I went to Johnson City and now here. Must be the trees or something. I don't know. Anyway, Caden Black, looking at the final hitting stats, Caden Black 1 for 3 with a walk, had a single in the third inning, had 2 flyouts. Cam Welch was 0 for 3, flew out to left field, grounded out to second, had a sac fly back in the third, and struck out swinging. Mikey Teasley was 0 for 1, had 2 walks, was hit by a pitch, and grounded out to third. Peyton Witter was 1 for 2 with a single, a ground out to third, a walk, and a hit. Was hit by a pitch. Parker Free was 1 for 4, singled in the first inning, grounded out to short and third, also flew out to right. Richie Ferreira had a great day at the plate. Ended up going 2 for 4 in the second game, a double, a single, scored 2 runs today for the Wildcats. Also struck out and flew out to left. Alex Franklin, who started off in the 7-hole, was 0 for 1, reached on an error and then walked, and then Cy Stevens came in and pinched hit and ended up staying in the game. Cy Stevens would be 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a pop-out. Kai Welch was 1 for 4, reached on an error twice, singled, and then flew out to right. Warren East was 0 for 1, walked, struck out, and was hit by a pitch. Caden Black scored 2 runs, as did Richie Ferreira. Also, Mikey Teasley, Peyton Witter, Parker Free, Alex Franklin, and Kai Welch also scored runs for the Wildcats. I'm going to flip it over. Cade Batchelor had a run, as did Cohen Babalay. Ryder Storm also had 2 runs, and Ryan Wade with a run scored for the Maryville Rebels. And really, those are the final statistics. And the parents have gone onto the field. David, I don't know if we can have you get one of these mics. I think they'll have to probably come up here. As the parents and family have gone on to the field, this should be celebrated. Oak Ridge hasn't done this in 31 years, so this should be celebrated. Coach Free should be happy. Coach Free really should be proud of himself. Oak Ridge should be thankful that really he was brought on here. This is exactly what he wanted to do. He wanted to build this program up. Oak Ridge, I feel like I can say this. Oak Ridge is not a baseball school. And he basically said, why not? Why can't we be? And this is going to it's a process, going to take time. Every year, they've really, for the last couple of years, really after COVID, they've each year kind of climbed to that next step. Last year, it was getting to that regional. They fell short. This year, they got right back, won the district, and now they are moving on to the sectionals. And, while I'm right there, I'm looking ahead. They're going to place at Sevier County. I don't know when or what time. It'll be interesting to see because it's a best of 3, so I'm not sure if there'll be double headers. But, David, I'm sure you'll have the schedule, and that'll be known. We'll worry about that maybe tomorrow or later on in the week. But today should be about Oak Ridge sports. It should be about Oak Ridge baseball. This should be a day celebrated in Oak Ridge, and hopefully these guys go have a great dinner. Hopefully and
a good nap.
Hopefully
go to bed early.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll be tired, but hopefully these guys are going to stay up late and party. Maryville had a terrific season. Not really a baseball school, Maryville. They've kind of been in that district with Farragut and Hardin Valley and some of those good teams, but congratulations to Maryville on a good season. But this should be about Oak Ridge, their fans. I know a lot of people are thankful that you've been able to broadcast a lot of these games. I'm glad I've been able to help and see Oak Ridge play. The game itself here, Oak Ridge got off to a fantastic start, capitalized on some walks and some errors, and did not get a hit since the third inning. Brady Orr came in relief through 3 and I think 2/3, did not allow a hit. But Oak Ridge really took their foot off the gas. It's not really what you wanted, but at the end of the day, it's about winning. And you will take winning no matter what. It doesn't matter how you win, just win. And Oak Ridge wins. And so on to the sectionals. These guys are going to party. These guys are going to have a good time. But I think we'll get some interviews. I think Coach Free is right here.
I think
he's
we're going to
downstairs.
try to speak to Peyton Witter. And
we'll get some guys up
Richie
here.
Ferreira probably. And what about the performance of Peyton Witter coming in?
Yeah, maybe not his best stuff. Issued a couple walks, a couple hits. Was maybe effectively wild. Threw a lot of pitches. But yeah, I thought he came in great. I'm going to pass the microphone off to Coach Free, and we're going to get the camera on Coach Free. I'm going to pass it to him right now.
And I'll let you kind of adjust the camera there just a bit. Coach, step a couple steps back here, and we'll get the camera moved in, and I don't want to zoom in on your face too much. It's not my thing right here. There he is, the head coach of the Wildcats. You know, Coach, we talked about this on the air. I did. This is the next step ball game. I mean, you have been to this place last year. Steadily, the program has been building. But the next step, and you've heard me ask the players, how are you going to get to that next step and get over the hump? And today was the day.
Yeah.
You bounced back from a kind of a bad loss to the Farragut Admirals. You flushed it. I think that's the term. You came out, put 5 on the board in the first inning, and you've taken that next step. You're headed to the sectional.
Man, that's awesome. I mean, I'm so excited for our team and our program and our community. I mean, it's been a long time, right? 93, last time that they made a sub-state, right? So you can kind of do the math there. That's 31 years in the waiting. 3 decades going by without advancing to a sub-state. So it's a big deal. It's a big deal for us. It's a big deal for our team. But, you know, we kind of felt like it was coming. I don't know. I just felt like it was coming. My wife texts me every morning and says, how you feeling? When I'm at, you know, I was at the office this morning early at like 6:30 in the morning. How you feeling? Calm. Like I just felt calm, like we were going to have a chance to do it, and I knew that our players, if given the opportunity, would make it happen. And we didn't play our best in that game right there, especially the last half of the game. We did not play our best. We made some mistakes on defense. We kind of went to sleep on offense. But you know what? Win's a win. We advanced, and now we're ready for Sevier County, and we'll get the details of that. Hopefully here in the next hour I'll have that.
You know, Coach, I thought Peyton Witter came in and did a really good job. I think Alex was pretty efficient until that one inning where the long home run, but he did his job. He got 3 innings, and maybe 3 and a little more than 3 innings. Then Peyton just came in and closed the door like he did against Central.
Yeah, awesome. I mean, that was our plan the whole way. I just felt like, you know, get the ball to Peyton in the back half. He has a chance. You know, we learned yesterday too with Cheeto just how well a lefty matches up against their lineup. So it was good to try to get that ball to the lefty. Probably 1 hitter late, but I was going to make a change no matter what there with Alex. I had a lefty on deck trying to make that move, you know, but so be it, man. We just found a way, like you said, scored 5 in the first to kind of relieve some of the pressure, then able to add to it and get it to 9 and just be able to hold on and get us to the sectional.
I thought your defense in the outfield was superb, with the exception of the one play there late in the ball game. I thought Carson Fagan was excellent, and Richie made some nice plays out there. I thought, and your pitchers getting a chance to, I guess it's pitch to contact. I mean, let your defense do it, and they did for the most part today.
Yeah, 100%. Like, we've got a really good defense. We're good in all areas. We're plus defenders in every spot. We can make some rotations and get better at times, but we made big plays when we needed big plays. You're right, and we'd seen Maryville enough. I kind of knew where to position some guys to get them in a good spot to do that. We did it. They were able to make some plays and just go catch the ball, right? That's what athletes and outfielders do, just go catch the ball.
Coach, one negative question. The Farragut ball game, you lost that ball game for the region championship, but that's the next step, maybe next year.
That's right. Yeah, that's the next step. Like, you got to compete against that. The next step is to play them again in the state championship is the next step. You know, the next time we would have to see them would be in the state championship game. So we're going to keep on trying to prepare and get ready to go and advance on to the next step, right? So we've got 2 more wins to get. You know, I told them to start the year we had to win 7 games. So right there, that's number 5. So you have 2 more to advance to the next step and get to the final 8. So we'll see. We'll just keep playing ball, man. We're set up and we're built for it. So I can't wait.
Coach, I know you don't have the schedule, but what is the format of the sectional tournament?
It's a 3-game series. It's against Sevier County. It can start anywhere from Wednesday to Friday. You can run a combination of days starting on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. You can do singles. You can do a single and a double header. It's just – we're going to kind of see. I'm going to call Casey when we leave here because he's already advanced and we've advanced now to start getting some details how it is. We have one hiccup in our schedule. His graduation is on Friday night. So it's a dilemma because ultimately we want to play it on Thursday and Friday is what I want to do. But that's what I'm going to try to push for. Start at Thursday night, going to Friday. We'll kind of go from there. But right now, I don't really know until I talk to him. But it's up to the coach's discretion to lay the days and the format out. But it has to be a 3-game series, a best of 3.
Coach, your final comments on today's win over the Maryville Rebels, 9-5.
It's exciting for our community. I mean, it's just awesome for us to be able to advance after 3 decades of waiting and be able to advance from that. But I am so grateful that we had the opportunity to do that. And, you know, I just can't wait to watch them play. So can't wait to watch them play. So I'm going to turn it over to some of these players. It's about them. It's not about me, man. I just kind of lead the ship and let them go. But I told the seniors if they want to come up and talk, David, I'm going to let them go.
I just wanted to talk
roll
to
Wildcats, and we'll be ready to roll this week.
We'll start with John Ulrich here first. Let me get John in the picture. He's a little bit taller than Coach Freak.
I can step down.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. John, I know you didn't have your best stuff today against Farragut, but I guess it all doesn't matter after this win over Maryville.
No, it don't matter. Individual game by individual game. What matters is advancing next round. Just keep working for your brothers. I mean, this is why people come here. This is why people come to watch. I mean, you saw yesterday, people checked themselves out of school, or their parents checked them out of school to come watch us play and come watch us perform. And this is huge for our program. I mean, this is what all the guys have been working for all year, and nobody really cares about playing time. Everything's for the team at this point.
I want to ask you one question about Farragut. Is that the best lineup you've ever faced in your life? Maybe the best lineup you've ever seen?
Well, I mean, except my Mets.
16,
I love my Mets.
16 seniors. The
Yeah.
Mets lost to the Braves, by the way. They were no hit until the last out.
Shut your mouth, Dave.
Anyway, but back to this ball game. You got up nine runs and you held on. Peyton, I thought, came in and did a really good job in relief.
All right, it went away. Yeah, I mean, he's been great for us all year. I mean, every time there's been a big moment, he's come in and he's absolutely shoved it up there. You know what?
Hey, John, you're borderline FCC violations right here. So, just kidding.
Hey, Free said a bad word. I didn't.
Just your final comments.
I love these guys, man. This is everything we've worked for all year. Every year that everybody's been here, this is what you work for. Just advancing, getting as far as you can. Get one little bit farther every year.
Thanks a lot, John. Let me get Richie in here. John's a senior. Let's get Richie Ferreira. Richie probably had the best, I guess, night hitting for the Wildcats. 4 hits in the 2 days, in the 2 games, and you hit the ball well. And you made a great play in right field. Talk about how important this win is for the program.
This one right here, it's another step in the road for what we're trying to do. Coach Free's been manifesting this exact day since the very first day of practice. We knew it was coming, and everything planned out the way he thought.
Let's talk about the Farragut ball game, and not much. Let's not talk about it. John wouldn't answer, but that was a really, really good team you faced today.
Yeah, good ball club. Got a lot of dogs, but nothing special. We're going to have to beat them later down the road.
Yeah, state championship ball game. This game was a 9-5. You jumped out on them early, and it kind of made you maybe relax maybe too much when you were up 9-0. Didn't score after that. Talk about what was going through your mind when you were out in the outfield.
When we jumped up in the first inning, and we came back in, had a slow start second inning, then we jumped up again in the third inning. I was like, we're going to do it. Like, there's no chance for them to come back. We did get way too comfortable towards the end, but we're a team full of dogs, and we knew what we had to do. Peyton Witter, he does his job every time he hops on that mound, and I have full confidence in him every time.
You'll play the Sevier County Smoky Bears. You played them twice. You beat them at Bobby Hopkins, and you lost them on the road. Talk about what you remember about them. And it's a 3-game series. You need 2 wins, and you're at the state tournament. Talk about Sevier County and what you remember about them.
Sevier County, good team, but nothing special, nothing we can't handle. We know the job's not finished, and we're coming harder than ever because this is something that we want. And then when you do things right on and off the field, good things happen to you.
I know the middle part of the order, including you in the district tournament, was struggled a little bit, but here today you barreled it up. I mean, you were seeing the ball really well.
I used the whole season to get ready for the playoffs, and I knew today waking up that I was going to have a good day because these are the moments I'm built for. My dad prepared me my whole life.
Richie, I know your grandmother's watching in California. You want to say hi to her?
Love you, Grandma.
Richie, I appreciate it. Congratulations on the win, and good luck in the sectional next week. That's Richie Ferreira. Let's see if we're done with any players. I think most of them have kind of headed out. Coach gave them the option, Lee, the seniors, to come up and talk to me if they wanted to.
I think they're ready to party.
You're right. You're exactly right. I know Cam Welch won't talk to me. He never talks to me. I mean, this would be the perfect time for the sophomore to come up and talk to me. He's just
he looked at you and shook his head no.
He's a little bit shy. He's not
he's out of here.
He's a sophomore too. I mean, he has plenty of opportunities to talk to me. I see Tyler Pickens in attendance here. He was, as Richie says, a dog for the Wildcats last year as they made it to this far. But Lee, they've made it farther this year. They've eliminated Maryville, and they were headed to the sectional tournament.
Yeah, they have, and that's exactly what they wanted to do this year, is get to that sectional. And every year, like Coach Free said, they've been wanting to take that next step. Now, next year, you'd like to host Obviously, you don't want to do the travel. And Sevier County knocked off Science Hill, so really they won't have to go all the way to the northern or northeast corner of the state. Sevier County, they've played them twice. There's a little bit of a scouting report. Oak Ridge should know what their hitters are. They should probably haven't seen their best pitching, but it's a team they should be familiar with. Sevier County, not a juggernaut team like Farragut. That's
They've got
for
a
sure.
good coach in Casey Taylor. He's a good guy.
Yeah,
He's
he
a good
is.
coach.
One thing that about Sevier County that stood out to me was they were just a fundamental sound team. They caught, they fielded, they hit the ball. They really just did everything sound. There really wasn't a whole lot of error or mistake in their game. They weren't a big team. They didn't have superstars, but they just played fundamentally sound baseball. And sometimes it's really all it takes to get to the state tournament. It's really what it takes in the postseason is those mature, sound teams. And so that's what Sevier County is. They didn't make a lot of mistakes in the game, or I think the 2 games we saw them play about a month ago. One was against Oak Ridge. The one was against I can't remember who they played.
We're going to hand the mic over to Izzy Mitchell here. Izzy is another senior member. Let's get him in the pictures. One step back there, Izzy. Izzy, you've been in the program for 4 years. What's this win mean for the program and for you?
Everything. Because we've been building this up, us and Free, ever since we got here. We just been building and building, getting farther every year, but never getting to this point. And it just feels so amazing to be able to not just do this for myself and the seniors, but just for the younger guys and everybody. Like, it feels so good, like, because we deserve this so much. We put in so much that we went through, that we had to share with each other, learn about each other. It's just everything we went through this year. This is like amazing.
I know your role has kind of been the runner's role this year. You're one of the top runners in scoring runs for the team. Today you put 9 on the board, kind of took the pressure off, but you kind of took the foot off the gas too. Made it a little interesting. Were you nervous at all down the stretch of the game?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Were you nervous in the stretch of the game?
Absolutely not. I tried my best because I've learned a lot from Coach Free. Can't be nervous. Just stay calm in the storm, and we'll be all right. We let our players play. We'll be all right. You'll never get nervous. Not with Oak Ridge baseball, baby.
What about Peyton Witter's effort?
Peyton Witter, he's excellent. Every time he goes in, I know he's going to ball out. Nobody can touch him. Unless you prove me otherwise, I don't think anybody can touch Witter. Every time he steps on the field, it's like shut out, shut out, shut out. He is like, my good. Peyton Witter, you are a dog, kid. You're a dog.
Izzy, I appreciate your time. Congratulations. Good luck against Sevier County.
Thank you.
That is Izzy Mitchell. And let's see. Okay, I want to talk to Peyton Witter. I mean, we're not going to go off the air here. Keep talking, Lee. I know you can, or Ben, keep talking here.
Great win for the Wildcats. Great performance by Peyton Witter and from Alex Franklin. Just a solid win on both sides of baseball. Defensively, a lot of great catches. Vashon missed that one by Richie. Never going to live that down. But just a really great performance by those outfielders and by everybody on all accounts. Just being able to make those great defensive plays. Offensively, being able to hit the baseball, just doing really, really well. And it was a great performance on both sides of the baseball, as I mentioned. And couldn't be prouder of this team just from the way that the team last year set the foundation for this team. It just, each and every little thing has fallen into place for today. So
and you can see
it's been great.
Tyler over there and Jason Slay, members of last year's team that made it to this game, but they fell short. But they're here watching their teammates, their former teammates.
Yes, and those guys hold such a special piece of my heart just because I went through high school with both of them and got to graduate with both of them last year. And, I know that they're proud for what they were able to do last year and the way that this team is still growing and how it's not stopped one bit and how everything is still falling into place for this team to win state this year.
And here he is, my favorite interview on the year, Peyton Witter. And I was not going to leave Peyton before we talk because as you and I jokingly go back and forth, I wanted to talk to you almost every ball game.
Yeah.
Let's talk about how important, I mean, you're a transfer in, so this is your first time. You told me the other night that you hadn't made it out of district in your former school, but tonight, how important is it for Coach Free and this program? And I'll talk about you in a minute.
Okay. Oh, it's awesome. It's great having a team that everybody stays together as a group and everybody's working for each other, and the end goal is to win, not, personal goals and this person's trying to do this. It's just how can we win games? And we're finding ways, so happy about it.
Let's talk about your performance. I mean, for the second time, you've had to come in relief to close out a game for a championship. This is not a championship, but it is a chance to advance. You came against this Maryville team. We had beaten them yesterday. Talk about them and how you felt you pitched and the confidence level you had coming into this game.
Well, no matter the confidence I really had, is you have to go up there and you have to at least show off some sort of confidence so that it'll eventually come in and be serious confidence. It's almost like just staying calm and getting through the game. It started off with a triple to the wall, and it's just how can you reset and focus and limit the damage.
And you ended up closing it out once again. And what was it like being on the mound for that final strikeout, knowing that your team was headed to the sectional tournament?
Oh, it's awesome. I'm normally able to control myself, but the last pitch or two, I'm up there, I'm trying not to smile, shaking, just ready to scream and be happy.
I want you to answer this question. I know it's a negative, but was that Farragut team the best team you've ever seen?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, they're pretty good.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
They're pretty good.
Yeah.
But I was proud of the way we hung with them. I mean, obviously we're not throwing everybody we got at them. We understood the situation, and I feel like in a must-win game, there's a serious chance we can win that.
So you're headed to Sevier County to take on the Smoky Bears, a 3-game series, sectional. The winner of that series goes to the state tournament. We haven't been to the state tournament since the 70s. It's been a long time. What's it going to take to get past the Bears? You split with them during the regular season. What's it going to take to get past them?
Honestly, with that team and that group and the arms they have, I feel like Game 3 is going to be huge because, Game 1, Game 2 is they have arms, we have arms, but it's who's going to piece it together in the third game to move on.
Peyton, I appreciate it. Congratulations, and have a good day. I know it's going to be a nice celebration tonight at the Witter household. Peyton Witter closes it out, and the Wildcats win the ball game by a final score of 9-5. That about does it. I know the Farragut people want us to unplug the plug here. We don't want them to unplug before we're ready. That about does it. The Wildcats lose the first ball game, and the region championship goes to Farragut, but they win the second ball game, and that's the most important game of the year. The Wildcats win it 9-5 over Maryville, eliminate the Rebels, and move on to the sectional tournament. We appreciate Ben George coming to the second ball game and helping us out a bit. Appreciate Vashon both nights, both games today, and Lee Wexler for joining us for both games. Wildcats take on Sevier County coming up this week in the sectional tournament. The Wildcats win today 9-5. Appreciate the senior parents for paying our rights fee for this ball game. Until the next time, this is David Clary saying so long, everybody.